We are back live for part two of our Friday night LSRTV Super Speedway doubleheaders. It is the iSuperspeedway.com Racing Series Season 3 on LSRTV from the Talladega Super Speedway. In round 6, the stars fell on Alabama. 250, mixing things up a little bit from the usual format and back to the way we kicked the season off with the iSuperspeedway.com 500. We have 94 laps around the Talladega Super Speedway for 250 miles tonight. This is a points race, but it is one of our double points nights, PD, which is always going to be exciting, and we're going to see a very different atmosphere tonight than we typically see. A lot of patience going to be involved in this one.
Man, oh man, you don't even understand how much I'm excited about this event. This is the type of event that you mark on your calendar. I mean, just look into the name. The stars fell on Talladega 500. This is like that type of... It's Alabama right here. It's 250 laps. It's just
250 miles.
250 miles, not 250. We're doing 250 laps.
See, this is why, PD, you got to go through the Google Drive that you don't care about.
I'm just really excited. Stars fell in Alabama, you know, that just sounds like the name of an event that's going to be really like backwoods drivers, and that's the type of racing that is always the best. So I'm excited to see that, and this is going to be fantastic. We're going to see a bunch of good racing, hard racing, big wrecks, big tempers. It's going to be great. These events only come around once every now and then, and I think the stars fell on Talladega 250. I mean, the stars can only fall on one driver tonight, and every driver's going to make sure that the stars fall on them.
Interesting analogy on the stars fell on Alabama 250. We'll get it, PD. We got a while so that we can figure out what the name of this race is. But we are working through our 10-minute closed qualifier session. 2 laps, individual car runs that's come to a close here in just about 30 seconds. We have the top 5 cars separate 4 1,000ths of a second. And essentially the whole field packed into less than a second differential. I'm currently watching Shane McEachin complete a lap with no front end and a lot of smoke, so don't expect that one to be too fast. But this is a race that we could see, and we do see some names that you don't see every week because there was invitations to sign up for this race, and you know anybody could have signed up to be out here on track tonight. And just like all of our other races, the winner going to walk away with the trophy a little bit bigger, like we saw with the iSuperspeedway.com 500. Shane McEachin won that one. He won last week, and we talked to him if he likes these endurance races. He's back at it again, but the qualifying session has come to a close, and we're going to get set to run you down through where everybody's going to start, and we'll give you your full field starting grid. Pole position to the driver of the number 7 car with the 49.659, going to be Roddy Wofford on pole position. Brendan Cattell going to be on the outside of the front row in second.
League administrator Rod Flagg always does an excellent job. He's probably, the way he runs this is one of my favorite ways we see people run leagues. He's going to start 3rd and in 4th. Last week's pole setter, Mark Jorgensen Jr.
Josh Hanna going to roll the Arizona Toyota off in P5. 6th position to Richard Holiday.
That's a double driver right there. In 7th, always up front in contention, Dana Osborne. And in 8th, Brogan Lott.
Row 5, the 25 car of Corey Henry going to roll from P9. And 10th position, Brandon Chubhart Chaburko.
In 11th, the season opener at the shootout, Josh Ball. 12th, Tony Fain.
Jason Altman's going to roll the 97 Ford off in 13th position. 14th to Derek Walker.
13th to Jason Altman's. 15th to Ron Thompson. 16th to Tommy Hall.
Johnny Giratano going to roll the number 2 Wrangler Chevrolet off 17th position. 18th to Jack Fletcher.
19th, Ray Rittenauer the 2nd. And in 20th is Jimmy Tolliver.
Row 11 going to see Greg Cook sitting P21. 22nd is Lee Heron.
23rd is Stephen Meyer, and 24th is Leachy Boy.
Robbie Roy going to be starting 25th. He is our in-race reporter as we follow him through his double attempt after his Verdane race did not go according to plan. Jared Haggerty gets started alongside him. That's going to be P26 for the 57 Ford.
27th, William Roberts. 28th, always up front, usually Chad Keene.
Jeff Ramsdell, who made it all the way to quarter 4 in the Verdane race, got tanked out. He will start in P29. 30th position at rounding out row number 15, going to be the 18 Kellogg's Toyota. That's Jimmy Todd.
My always-time favorite paint scheme in 31st tonight. We have Sean Turner. In 32nd is Doug Sigmund.
Larry Camp going to roll the 33 Chevrolet off in 33rd position. Funny how that works. And Mark Brown going to start 34th.
35th, Dennis Wright. And 36 making a season debut tonight, Usually admitting not tonight, Frank Busilla III is going to try to come out here, and he won the championship not too long ago, and he's going to be racing tonight.
Yeah, I want to make note that Frank Busilla, again, is a championship driver in this series, has been up in the admin tower all season long and going to use this opportunity to get out on track. So he is in that McDonald's Ford, as you mentioned. Last two cars put down a time in qualifying. The 42 of Brian Underwood going to start 37th position, and 38th going to go to Shane McKeechan. Rounding out our 39 car field, going to be Kent Connolly in the 088 car. He'll roll from row number 20 and round out what is nearly a full field from the Talladega Superspeedway. We're grouped up behind the iRacing Ford First Mustang pace car, PD, and we're getting set to go. It's not a 20-lap B main, it's not the 40-lap A main. 94 laps from start to finish and 250 miles to determine who's going to walk away with our second endurance race on the year.
One thing's for sure, the stars will not fall until later on, and I'm not sure who will win this, but whoever wins the stars fell on Talladega 250 is going to be one happy driver, and man, this is going to be a great event. We're getting ready. Rodney Warford's been dominant in many races this season, not quite got the job done, and, you know, Mark Jorgensen Jr. and Josh Hayner, they always get it done the big shows. You can't ever count out Chubb Hart. Who knows? We're about to find out, though, Evan.
About to get kicked off. It is going to be in the hands of seasoned veteran Rodney Wofford as he will roll that Race Fan Racing Incorporated Chevrolet off from the top spot. Pace car is down and away. Got to cycle through this tri-oval before we hit the start-finish line to get this one officially underway. Field now cycling through. Green flag in the air, and the stars fell on Alabama. 250 is underway, and it's going to be Brandon Cattell with the advantage at the start-finish line, up on that high side, way up against the fence after he got going and possibly caught our leader off. Not sure if there may be a penalty on that one because he was well out in front of him, but now we're going to see Rodney Wofford battle back down low.
Yeah, and we have two I-5 bonus drivers racing there. For the third and fourth position, you'll see these cars get wiggle, they'll wobble, but don't be worried, these drivers know how to drive them, and we see Brandon Cattell and Rodney Warford race for the lead on the backstretch. It's so much amazing racing. They cannot push in the corners. Watch the number 81 get right on his bumper on the 80, and it's just going to be dead even. We see this every week. Eventually the 80 could possibly clear. We do not know. Right behind them is that number 03 Carolina Hurricane of Richard Holliday vehicle. He's the highest lane driver attempting the double so far in this event. Obviously, early lap one, as Cattell's going to take the lead. He's going to try to bring Mark Jorgensen with him. Can he? Yes, they're clear. Them two to the lead, and Jorgensen's going to... Jorgensen yeeted him.
Caution, trouble behind these guys. Huge wreck. The 2 car, the 01, Jack Fletcher into the outside wall. Donnie Giratano is out in the grass, and yellow is out after trouble. Going into quarters number 1 and 2. It was a 4-wide situation that didn't quite work. The 13 machine going to get this one kicked off. Jimmy Tolliver pushing on the back bumper of the 01 of Jack Fletcher. Went to the bottom and I thought about 4-wide and just turned the 2 car of Donnie Giratano. The 01 went around as well. Most of the guys were able to get through on the bottom. Looks like the 96, the 9 car is going to get some damage as well. The Kellogg's machine got some minor damage on that. Jimmy Todd's car got nearly turned by Mark Brown, and then he went back up on track, and the 18 went up and over.
Whew. Well, one thing that is going to remain stationary is Brandon Cattell as your leader. Always interesting to see him up front. He was a pro driver until recent, got demoted to B class, so not anymore, but he certainly drives like a pro week in, week out. Always fun to watch that 80 machine. Such a spectacular driver. We've thought we'd be seeing more of the Brandon show this season, but we haven't seen a lot of the Brandon show. It's either been one or the other running up front so far this season. Evan, we really haven't seen them two race it out. Maybe tonight's the night.
Yeah, this one again, still a long way to go. We'll have the flair for the exciting, the flair for the dramatic, and they didn't take long to pile them in there here tonight. But again, you talk about Shaburko, one of the drivers that is going to make it the 3-wide situations. You can't push into corners. You can't push into tri-oval. It forces you to race with that pack. And Border Park Racing is the fact that, PD, you have one guy have an issue, and it can get really ugly really quickly. And that's a example of such. 4-wide on lap 2. Probably not the most calculated decision. But it does bring us under caution flag conditions. Again, tonight's race, 94 laps in distance. So one of our longer Friday night LSRTV Super Speedway double headers. The next time we're going to be out with the iSuperspeedway.com Racing Series, going to be in 1 week's time. So although we do not have Verdane next week, Verdane actually does have a exhibition race, which is not televised. So if you want to find out information on that, go to verdane.net. But as well, iSuperspeedway back in action. So although it's not going to be a doubleheader, PD, going to be back in 1 week's time for round 7. The B and the A main format will return with a 20-lap B main, 40-lap A main from the Daytona International Speedway. That's going to be the final race with this series before we head off to the holiday break. So still a lot racing up to come, but Brandon Cattell is able to get to the top spot. Interesting, that start, PD, we saw it earlier tonight. We saw it again, that car that started second, beating our leaders at the start-finish line.
Yeah, this is a different track too, and different setup. This is something that me and Evan normally do within the final 10 laps of the race. But I'm so confident in my pick tonight. You don't have to pick yours yet, Evan, but I'm going to pick mine. 94 laps, a race built for champions. A long race, a special race. The car that I'm picking to win is the 94 car. A very championship-worthy driver. And someone who's making a special start tonight, that's Frank Busilla III. I think he's going to get done. I think he's going to show Cheberko that he still has his number, and he's going to give it to him one last time here.
And it was Cheberko who was able to take home the championship last season. That was not televised at LSRTV. It was Season 2 of the iSuperspeedway.com Racing Series, but this league goes all the way back, 1+ almost on 2 years, at least from my experience with them, with the iSuperspeedway Cup Series. Cheberko finally got a championship last year after working essentially 7 seasons for it. He got the Season 2 iSuperspeedway.com championship. Before that, Frank Busilla was the man to beat, and surprising to see that he stepped away and went up to the tower this year. So his 94 McDonald's drive-through Ford may be able to come in and steal the show here tonight. If we're going to throw out picks early, I'm going to go with the 48 of Josh Ball. Although I extremely dislike the 48 design because it is Jimmy Johnson inspired, got to give a shout out to that Monsters University, the Monsters University design. I do think that Josh Ball is going to win this race. So we will see, Petey, which one of us is going to have a better call.
You know, that really surprised me. You love going with your boy Cheberko, and I wouldn't have blamed you if you did. Honestly, if Busilla doesn't win, I think Cheberko will get the job done, but I guess we'll see. And I'm just really thrilled. I never got to see the Busilla era of the series, but I heard he was a real dominant driver. He's actually brought down pit road every lap of his caution, filling it up on gas, so who knows. I really like his throwback Bill Elliott paint scheme, too. We saw Bill Elliott run that in 2000s. He actually won the Brickyard 400 in 2001 with that car, so very, very interesting to see him running that paint scheme, historic paint scheme, and I think it's just meant to be, 94 laps.
Petey, were you even born in 2001?
You know what, Evan? I was like 3, but I go back and watch old race replays sometime. Let's not talk about my life here.
Okay. It's not an autobiography, please. Yeah. I got you.
So, I just think that 94 laps, number 94, a race that's built for champions. He's a champion, and it's a special event. He's making a special start. I think, the stars will fall in his favor at Talladega, if you get what I'm going for there, Evan.
It's the thought that counts. Again, we have to keep in mind that there are still points on the line. And much like we discussed rolling into Daytona to get the season kicked off, the hype of Daytona, everybody wants to get the checkered flag to get a race a little bit harder. That race was one that we saw very strange incidents with the aggressive setup and the build where we had people spinning out of nowhere, and it was a rough one, to say the least. And it was Shane McEachin who struck through and was able to get home the win in that one. Same applies to tonight. It is a double points race. It is also an opportunity for a driver that if they win to lock themselves into the 5-race chase for the championship. There are other drivers that are going to be able to get in on points though, and you need a solid run. So although it's a special event, Pete, you got to keep your head screwed on tight.
Yeah, you do. I mean, it's still a points event. It's kind of like I compare this to the Brickyard 400. It's not the big event, but it's one of the bigger ones. You go into it, everyone wants to win it. There's so much pride, so much honor you get to brag about forever. You won the Stars Falling on Talladega 400, and they're here trying to, and they just want to, Alabama, I'm sorry, not Talladega. They're trying to here to get it done, but they got to remember points are still on the line. They can't just go free for all YOLO this. They got to still try. So hopefully we'll see the tough guys get, I think the points leader will still finish up front, but they definitely need to keep the cars in one piece, especially for the chase.
So no free-for-all YOLO, and that needs to be replaced with calculated, cool, calm, and collected decisions. So it is going to be Brandon Cattell who starts back on the top spot for this one after starting on the outside of the front row. Rodney Wofford, our pole sitter, going to slide back. He's going to be in third spot for this upcoming restart. We're within 90 to go. We're starting to close in on this one. Coming off of a early caution flag. Again, the winners so far this year and the chase drivers. Again, you win and you're in the top cutoff after the 11 races. First 11, races 12 through 16, going to be a 5-race chase for the championship. We have our first 2-time winner this year coming 1 week ago, Shane McKeechin, who again won the iSuperspeedway.com 500, won last week in race 5. The other drivers that will join him in the championship, Josh Hanner for winning race 2, Brandon Chaburko for winning race 3, and Brandon Cattell for winning race 4. So some guys playing on house money, some of them still trying to fight for that championship. Pace car down and away, cycling through the trial. We're going to be a restart coming up on lap number 7. Cattell in control.
Yeah, and Cattell's going to bring him down to the restart zone. He wants to get it going. Cattell, the past pro, is going to try to get a second victory in the season here. He won at Talladega last time we were at Talladega, and here they come with the green flag, Evan.
Yeah, back underway we are, side by side in quarters number 1 and 2 at the 81 and 80, battling it out now down the back straightaway as we roll into quarter number 2. Advantage was to the outside. Cattell going to get a little bit of a run. This is where these guys can get hooked up, again on the bottom, and typically we see these races where the top 2 cars up on the outside lane get a push for a little bit. Eventually, the lead car up high is going to get clear. He'll drop down the line. Somebody else going to get on the back bumper of the car that was pushing, and it will continue from that point on. 3 wide back in the pack, though, as Chaburko thinking about going 3 wide. The 25 behind him. They think better of it for the moment, but no surprise, Petey, that is Brandon Chaburko who's trying to get creative early.
Brandon Chaburko is always the master of the 3 wide. He usually makes it work. 8 gets wild there, but he saves it, and right now Cattell is still in control of this race. Mark Jorgensen Jr. on his outside as he's having help from that 03 of Richard Holiday, the Carolina Panthers vehicle. So he's trying to get some run there. Holiday representing his favorite NHL team right now is they're doing pretty good this season. So he wants to do as good as they are right now, trying to get the victory, and he's going to push Mark Jorgensen to the front. They need to run this race smart. 2 miles is going to be a big deal. Chaburko takes a 3 wide and broken rod. Well, there goes Chaburko, and there's cars all over this track. Could be 4 wide in a second the way they're going.
Yeah, the 25 peak tie, 3 wide now. The 80 car going to go to the outside after it was the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. who got down in front of him to the bottom lane. The 80 wants to go all the way up. It appears that he's going to be dropping back 4 wide as they cycle through this one. Chaburko and the 25 of Corey Henry working what is going to be now the top lane 3 wide. The 80 car, though, PD, appears that he's just intentionally dropping backwards because we're still 3 wide. Look at the run, though, about that 03 of Richard Holiday up the middle.
Yeah, Holiday has a great run. Here comes Richard Holiday. This is his first ever race at the iSuper Speedway League. He was accepted just about 20 minutes before the race, he said, and he was thrilled that he was going to get to do the double, and he wants to prove a point early. Here comes Holiday in that 19 of Brogan Lot through the middle, and they're going to split up Chaburko and that number 25 car. Will they get Jorgensen and Rodney Warford, though? I don't think they will. Their one got really messed up there. Remember, they cannot push in the corner, so these guys are certainly treading still water here early as Holiday is going to lead that middle lane. That's when Chaburko's going to pull in, so now that's just going to become the outside lane because the 25 is going to lose some ground clearly. Although on the outside, there is that number 80, and he's not going to stick with them, actually. And here they come, though. Oh, Warford's going to leave Jorgensen. Here we go. Big run, 19.
Ooh, 19.
037.
We're getting real squirrely up the front of the field, and look at the huge run by the outside. Give it to Rodney Wofford. To the bottom as well goes Richard Holiday. No room. The 19 turns left into the door of the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. Back up on track. He hangs on to it after somebody wasn't looking at their mirrors, and it was Jorgensen on the bottom who just got absolutely door slammed by Brogan Lawn. The 19 car is going to end up in front of the 81 and that exchange to P3, and Jorgensen not going to forget that one.
That was just a bonehead move on the 19 there. He was not clear by a country mile. Chaburko's actually going to juke him out there. He yeeted him, as I like to say. So move Chaburko up to third. And oh, Chaburko, he's just making these moves early. You know, a lot of people like to run the 3 car in honor of Dale Earnhardt, and they don't truly represent Dale Earnhardt. Brandon Chaburko, I can say he races like Dale Earnhardt when it comes to super speedways, and I think you'd have to agree with that one, Evan.
He never shies away from being aggressive. His nickname is Brandon Chubhart Chaburko, and He drives a 3 good wrench Chevy, so can't argue with that. He's sitting in third right now, tucks back in line for the moment. He wants to go high. He doesn't have any immediate help, and do anticipate he'll slide back in line in between the 03 and the 81 cars at the moment. Churberko's like, there's nobody up here. He wants to work with somebody. He wants the 81 of Jorgensen to get up to him. I believe that the Giant Mountain Dew Chevy of Jorgensen may have some minor damage, PD, after getting hit on the door. But he's having trouble sucking up to that 3 car at the moment. They're going to catch him now off the corner. Churberko wants to go. He's not one that sits around quite often.
No, and Jorgensen's going to go with him. I thought the 03 was going to go, but I think it was meant to be the 03 and the 3, but that's not going to work out. Jared Haggerty, who's turned the season around last week, is going to go to the low line, try to help them out. And now it's going to be another drag race with Holiday, Warford, and Churberko and Jorgensen. Here we go. This is going to be fun to watch. Oh, Haggerty had a moment there, but here comes Jorgensen, Churberko on the outside. That's going to be close to the leg. At the line, I mean, who knows? Maybe Churberko's just trying to lead a lap early to get his points, but it's not going to be this lap because Rodney Warford's going to lead. And he's going to try to, Holiday looked to go low, but that did not quite work out for him. Give the spot to Churberko. Churberko through to the lead.
No surprise that he's moved his way up to the top spot after starting in 10th already. He's in the lead spot. The 81, look at the block. To the high side he goes. Now he opens up the door for the 70. He's going to get split. That did not work out for Churberko after he went up to block the high side. Got past on the bottoms, trying to get past up high. Saving grace for him is going to be help from the 48 of Josh Ball, who's pushing his way through. These guys are not giving an inch. Only 13 laps into about a 90 lap affair.
Yeah, and these guys are always aggressive. You know, you act
like trouble behind them.
Oh, trouble. That's right behind them, and I'm trying to get a number on that one. Did you get it, Evan?
Something going on in corners number 3 and 4. Saw a couple cars off pace in that regard, and in good old recent iRacing fashion, the cars are invisible, so I can't see them, but saw a couple of people off pace with each other. It looks like it's going to be Greg Hooks, the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet entry. It doesn't start with him, though. We had a couple guys that get turned down to the apron trying to find a number on the car. Does appear to be Chad Keene in the number 36 car that started it. It's Sean Turner in the 36 machine. Tried to shoot the gap, just came across the nose of the 96. They got turned down to the bottom. This is in 3 and 4. 96 comes back up on track, and that's where the incident occurs with turning Greg Hooks and that Napa machine around. So incident does happen towards the back half of those guys there that have fallen off of that lead group essentially by quite a little bit. They were almost in a secondary pack there, bringing out the yellow.
Yeah, and I want to bring up that Greg Hooks actually won the IROC race round 2. Right before this, congratulations to him. He got 1 win in this league. This league has multiple series. One, I mean, the IROC series, they run immediately before this. They run out the old COT car. So if you're looking for a good league with a really cheap car that you don't spend a lot of money on, be sure to check out their iRock series. I hear it's a lot of fun, good racing. It's not televised, but you know, it's the racing that matters. As we see the number 25 Corey Henry and the number 22 of I didn't quite get the name there, Ron Thompson, bringing down pit road. So we already have some early pit strategy going on. Up front though, things are not going to change. Warford is going to be your leader, and in second is going. Oh, Brandon Churberko actually brought down pit road. I don't know how I missed that one.
We have a couple people bringing them down pit road this time by working under a caution flag. 15 laps into, the stars fell on Alabama 250. Going to step away for our first break of the evening. Rodney Wofford leads from Talladega. A lot more racing coming up. You're watching LSRTV. Welcome back live to the Talladega Super Speedway for the Stars Fell on Alabama 250 with the iSuperspeedway.com Racing Series Season 3 on LSRTV. Up at the LSRTV broadcast booth tonight, as always, myself, Evan Pasoko, alongside PDJ Zeller, Laura Lawson down in the production hall. We're pushing the buttons and getting us on air tonight, but we are working off of a caution flag right now. Rodney Wofford, PD, after slipping back to third on the first yellow, going to find himself back on point as the lights are back off at a pace car. Getting set, going to be a restart on lap 18 for this next one.
Yeah, and this has been a fantastic race to watch. While we're underneath this caution area to go green once again, I would just like to say that this is one of the more fantastic leagues in iRacing. If you want, join under iSuperspeedway. This league is on the rise. They actually give out trophies for every week, and this is just one of the best premier leagues in iRacing. So if you're looking for one, go to iSuperspeedway.com, one of the best websites you'll find this. If you're looking for a good league, make sure to check this one out.
Pace car down and away. Gets set to go back green flag condition. Richard Holiday on the outside of the front row alongside Rodney Wofford. Green flag now here. Back underway, and it is going to be the Carolina Hurricane Chevrolet on the outside of Holiday, who once again is able to get a better start than our race leader. Can he get clear, though? Not going to have enough time, and it will be Wofford that once again leads this pack down through the corner. Got a little bit of help on that back bumper. The 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. gave him a shot. Again, you can't push in the corner, though, so these guys up high that are on each other are going to watch it. You can push on the straightaways and in the short shoots from forward of the tri-oval and then out of the tri-oval to quarter number one.
And right now, Holiday's getting a good run right now, though, being pushed by that number 8 machine on the straightaway, which is legal. And you look at these two cars, Warford and Holiday, you'd think they're teammates, but they're not. They don't even know who each other is, so this is fun to watch. Right now, the battle for third is the first one on the racetrack. That 4 vehicle of Tommy Hall is going to be racing with Richard Holiday in the 03. Look at, here comes Elliott Leach, Robbie Roy, the teammates that said they are going to be helping each other. They're up to 7th and 8th. They started deep in this field. They started 24th and 25th, so they're making moves already. And actually, we're seeing a lot of guys make moves right now, and this is actually a lot of fun to watch here, Evan.
Yeah, we got a couple of tandems trying to make their way up through this pack to get to this lead group of cars. The bottom lane sits at the moment about 6 cars strong, and then you got 2 sets on the outside, the 03 and the 8 car trying to lead that outside charge. Then the 92 and the 2 making a good run up high. Stephen Meyer and the 2 of Donnie Giratano just now entering top 10 spots after starting quite significantly back. You talked about Leach and Roy P. He started 24th and 25th, so really moving up. Tommy Hall, who sits right now in that 4 car 5th place, he started back in 16th position. So although this race still young in this 94 lap affair, lap 20 now in the works, already seeing a lot of drivers starting to move their way up through the field, and a lot of drivers that started up front sliding back from those wrecks.
Yeah, and it's just been really fun to watch. These guys make their way through the field. Ramsdell's up there right in the thick of things as these guys are racing hard. And I got to give a shout out to that guy in leading the outside charge right now, Richard Holiday, for his first race in this league and not knowing anything about the setup. He's been doing a good job right now hanging with these guys in lap 20, although he's going to get left out to dry. That's not too bad for him. The other cars on the outside are his 2 teammates, so we can see a 3-team car charge on the outside here in a second, and Holiday's going to fall back to them hard. It is like getting really falling back there, so if anyone wants to jump to the outside line, they have the opportunity now. As this outside line, we do expect to get a run here. We see that a lot in this league. Can't push in the trial, but that's why we're seeing them back off each other. But right now, the leader is still your pole setter, Rodney Warford.
Yeah, so Wofford sits up in a top spot. The bottom lane has the advantage by about 3 car lengths before you find Richard Holiday, who leads the outside charge, who now has the 41 of Elliott Leach behind him because that 8 of Dana Osborne has since gone to the bottom. And just as I say that, the Budweiser Chevrolet going to jump back up to the outside, and Osborne wants to make some moves again. He's going to get up and in front of Richard Holiday, which gives the outside lane a couple more cars. The more cars out there, in theory, the better opportunity that they're going to be able to have to make a run. Sliding up the 81, now nearly catches the 8 car. That was close. Got to hold that one down, and that's going to shoot Elliott Leach to the line, PD. He's going to lose a lot of spots. The 14 going to shoot the gap, and that 41 going to be going the wrong direction, up 3 wide.
Yeah, but one person that's not going the wrong direction is Mark Jorgensen Jr. He is to the point, but he does not have anyone to help him immediately, so he is going to have to fall back to Richard Holiday, and Jeff Ramsdell are going to make up the outside charge now. Here comes Holiday and Jeff Ramsdell. They're going to be trying to catch right up to that 81, which they will. Try to give the outside line another good charge. Look back here at the L1. That is Brian Underwood. We're seeing him make a return to the league after a few-week hiatus. We saw him get into actually a little bit of a fight. That's actually Jack Fletcher. I'm sorry. He just run the same paint scheme as Brian Underwood. Oh, God, he's going to get turned, actually. Jack Fletcher is going to get turned and is upside down flipping. Big wreck, cautions out.
Huge trouble for Jack Fletcher. The Under Armour machine. Oh, slides down. More cars going to get involved in that. Tony Fenn sliding around the wrong direction. They got a couple of the guys that I think because of that fact that that car was sideways, it could have been a lot worse for them because they phased through him. Corey Henry with heavy damage as well, as that replay goes live right now. And my pick in the 48 car, it all starts here. Looks like William Roberts in the 9 car in front of this incident. I see the 3 in the 48 though, and it's the 48 who's on the apron, comes back up, gets turned, 25 car, and then the 48 of Josh Ball gets up in the air, gets stuck in the catch fencing, and it was on from there. Jimmy Todd involved in this one as well. And again, just an incident that quickly. Things get very ugly, and we return back to caution flag conditions with another huge incident that, I mean, a strange kickoff to it. You know, they were just going down the back straightaway. There was nothing too crazy going on there. And, you know, next thing you know, you got Josh Ball, who goes to the apron, and the 13 chops him off, and he tries to get back on track, and he was just run out of room, and the 13 machine essentially just drove him to the apron.
Yeah, so second bigger wreck we've seen already, and it's been, these guys always put on a great show. And I had to get cut off a little bit earlier there as we see the cars bring down pit road. Here we go. We're going to see green flag, I mean not green flag, caution flag pit stops to start off. The majority of the field's going to come down. We saw a few cars tail on Mark Jorgensen, but for the most part they come down. Here comes Rodney Warford with his pit stall. Rodney's going to have that number 1 pit stall. Big pit stall to Talladega. Hard to miss these. He's going to just get some gas, it looks like, and go. Actually, right side tires. Jacking that car up, and he is awful. A few guys just taking gas. That'll be Elliott Leach and Dana Warford. And Rodney Warford is second off pit road. First car taking tires. And a ton of guys just stayed out on different strategies of it.
Yeah, this race is significantly longer than what we'll see in our A mains, where, you know, maybe you got to make one stop, everybody comes down in uniform, and then after that, everybody is able to kind of be on the same strategy. Now, in the fact that you got a lot of drivers working in their groups of teams, they're trying to strategize together, opens up a window of opportunity that would allow them to play the strategy card a little bit differently. So Brian Underwood, one of the drivers that is expressing his displeasure with the way this race has gone, and almost much like Daytona, PD off to a little bit of a rocky start. These incidents, again, have just really come from drivers that are getting a little over-aggressive. And it's, again, we talked about the fact that you roll into the race, and I can tell you that every driver is going to say, yeah, we got to take it, you know, easy. And you almost get put into a position that if you're not aggressive, you're going to get run over from behind. So you almost have to be aggressive, PD, if you want to just maintain where you are. And then, you know, it just kind of gets out of hand from there, and that's what leads to these big incidents.
Yeah, and, well, we've just seen a couple of little fender benders here. We haven't really seen the big one yet. But, I mean, some drivers are complaining. We even see Brian Underwood come on to chat here, and he's definitely showing his displeasure with the early cautions. But you get this, it happens, and it's just racing. And also, Brian Underwood and I can't remember. Oh, there's a wreck. Oh, that's not. I'm sorry, I was on replay there. I thought he was wrecking under yellow, but I am sadly mistaken, folks. But Brian Underwood is running a very similar paint scheme to that number 20 vehicle, I think it was, or whoever I was just talking about before the caution came out. So they are very easily confused. So just watch out for that tonight. If you see one, it might not be that person that Jack Fletcher does in the 01. And we're actually seeing some people get in fights in chat, and we're seeing some chats disabled. Your pick, Josh Ball's chat, has actually just been disabled.
And now we have some Taylor Swift being played over the PA system as well, courtesy of the radio of the number 11 to Lee Heron. We could cue that up, but I feel like that's a copyright thing, but not the typical soundtrack that you think they play here at Talladega.
I remember this clearly because this is one of my first ever broadcasts I did with you, Evan. It was the Vidain heat races for their big Daytona race, and I remember everything about it. JP Winchittle came over to chat and started singing the My Little Pony theme song, and you pointed that out. I remember you pointing that out. It was just the weirdest thing ever, because you wouldn't expect that from a bunch of probably southern guys racing at a
Drunk
super
rednecks.
speedway. Yeah, you wouldn't really expect that from them guys. But he starts singing the My Little Pony theme song. And we're just sitting here laughing on Whisper, looking at each other like, what is this? So the Taylor Swift is certainly not on the long list of
I have
weird
that
things
song
we heard
on
over
my
chat.
phone, by the way. Point that out.
The My Little Pony one?
Oh, not the. Yes, it's my ringtone for when you call.
Oh.
No, I do not have My Little Pony. This is Talladega. Get the country music. Get the beer cans being thrown on track.
Yeah.
We
I guess
get
Taylor Swift sort of country.
whatever rocks your boat there. But restart coming up. There is a race going on, ladies and gentlemen. The pace car down and away in control of this field. Going to be the 81. It's going to be Mark Jorgensen Jr. on the bottom lane. Coming up through the trial for this next restart. Green flag in the air, back and away. And for once, our leader actually going to have the lead at the start-finish line. And he's got help. How about Jeff Ramsdell? PD doing a solid job up to the top two.
Jeff Ramsdell is the worst luck I've ever seen, though, so don't get too excited this early for the one camp, but he certainly wants to be up there avoiding where he possibly could get wrecked, even though it always seems to find him. And we just saw one of the top 10, not quite top 10, but top 20 drivers, Tony Fenton, lost his connection. That is, Evan likes to say all the time, that is the equivalent of blowing your motor in the real world, so tough break for him. But it happens sometimes, and he's just going to have to move on right now. As we see the battle for the lead heat up, Ramsdell to the point, give it to the one car who is always up front in the super speedways, and he's looking to lead his first ever laps here as we go 3 wide.
The 7 tried to get in behind the 4 car as the 73 got shuffled out of line, and when Mark Brown came back down, the 7 was 3 wide situation, and it was going to be Rodney Wofford who made the decision to back out of it. So we stay 2 wide up front, move to the outside goes Mark Jorgensen Jr. after Jeff Ramsdell got the lead. The 81 goes high, he'll slide up in front of William Roberts and then try to get that push to be able to get back to the point with the 55 of Derek Walker. Going to give a huge shot to the 1 car down low in corner number 2 to be able to give him the advantage, but they're not hooked up now. About half a car length separate those cars on the bottom. The outside lane is the group of guys that are pushing right now. Can the 81 get clear? Not quite this time. 3 wide now. The 80 of Cattell with help from the 11 Lee Heron up top.
Yeah, here comes Mark Jorgensen for the lead. He wants to take it back 3 wide in the back. Oh my goodness, it's getting more and more antically 3 wide. And look at that 11 car. That looks just like Jason Leffler's 11 car as he's going to try to make his way through this field. Lee Heron is representing Jason Leffler as he's going to pull her back in the line and think better about that. And that's just going to leave Brandon Cattell all by himself, lonely up there. So he is the odd person out. He's going to find a hole, actually, so he did find a date to problem eventually, but it took him a while. And he is back in that normal groove as we have some hard racing for the lead, though. Jorgensen versus Ramsdell as they come down to turn 3 of them.
And that number 11 FedEx Express Chevrolet, I do believe, is based off of Denny Hamlin's FedEx that he ran in memorial of Jason Leffler. 3 wide now, the 7-3 line. Oh, Cattell, that's not going to work. He just dumped the 4 car.
Oh, it's a big one.
11's around, the 73, the 20 as well. Multiple cars in this one. Caution flag back out, and it was a 3 wide move on behalf of the 80 machine who went to the middle. And, the 4 car didn't really move down at all. He was following the guy in front of him, and Cattell just tried to push his way through and make it 3 wide in a situation that probably didn't need to be 3 wide, PD, this early in the race. And, looks a little bonehead on that one, in my opinion. I think it's way too early to be doing that.
Yeah, so that was a real interesting turn of events there, and that didn't turn out too well for Cattell, or at least as well as he probably wanted to turn out. But we're going to get things bunched up again after we saw a pit stop. Shouldn't see him come back down again, and these guys are getting antic really early here, Evan.
Yeah, it's the gloves are off already, and not even a third of the way through this race. Nobody giving anybody grace tonight. It is a longer race, but they're racing like it's a 5-lap shootout on each one, which is exciting for us. It does tend to attribute to more caution flags with the aggressive setup that they got, but at the same time, I think it's a little early for that kind of a move that we saw on behalf of the 80 car.
Yeah, and I just want to take a quick moment to compliment. I've been trying to do this like 4 times now, so I think I might finally have a moment here. I just want to compliment this league. It's one of the better run leagues in iRacing. Rod Flag always makes fair choices for all the drivers, and you get to see that. And I love going to the Facebook group, and it seems anytime there's an argument, Rod Flag always finds the solution that pleases everyone. So great
or
ownership
the salt
here.
is the salt can be busted out too by Cheburko.
Yeah, or he tries to prevent Cheburko from posting his trophies in self-defense. but sometimes that doesn't quite work. As you see, some of the leaders bring it down pit road, Ramsdell included. But just really well run. They have trophies for every race. Really welcoming of drivers. They don't put up with the bad ones. If you're bad and you join this league, I'm sorry, but you're probably going to get kicked out of it. And it's always good racing. They have just such great setups, and I think this league's on the up and coming iRacing, and I think in a few years this could be one of the, if not the most premier league in iRacing the way they're going.
Well, we have a lot of experience working with these leagues, Speedy, on the league websites, and again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, the iSuperspeedway.com. If you want to check them out, check that out. Very well designed website. It's always updated every week. It's very well organized. My OCD is 100% okay with it, and very easy to get information off of. So if you want to just check out more information on them, or you can tick on the new driver application tab as well, iSuperspeedway.com for more information on them. The season already almost halfway through the regular portion, but again, you make one start, you win, and you're in the chase. Yeah, there's nothing's cut out of this yet.
My favorite part about their website is on the left side, they have like a Talladega-style scoring pylon with the top, all the numbers are digitally, just like you would look at a scoring pylon, and it has the top 10 from the previous week's race, and it says like lap 94 on the top as it would for this race. I don't know why this strikes me as really cool. I forget that's probably not that difficult to set up, but it's just kind of a cool little feature that, like, you go there and you're like, oh, immediately you know who finished the top 10 in the last race.
And Taylor Swift is continuing to be played through the driver's radio, courtesy of the 11 and the 48 teams. Not sure how the Alabama faithful are liking this.
Oh man, beer cans get thrown on the track.
And there's beer cans being thrown at the 11 and the 48 cars, so that may cause some sort of delay. And so we did have a couple guys cycle down pit road, PD. We've really seen, we really haven't seen a uniform strategy. Everyone's just kind of be coming down in selected groups and no real order to it, which it really doesn't seem that important now, but if this thing breaks out into a long green flag run, really could be crucial. So although it seems, kind of relaxed at this point under the caution flag conditions, still a long way to go, it could play a factor into the end of it.
Yeah, and this race the stars fell on Alabama. I almost said Talladega,
Here we
they're not
go.
going to do that again. The stars fell on Alabama with 250 here. Very prestigious event in this league. I think this is their second most prestigious event after the iSuper Speedway 500K. So everyone surely wants to get victory lane in this one, and I know all the Alabama fans are really excited about this coming to their state. When we landed our plane in the middle of the trailer park, Evan, I saw all these fans up on their haulers getting ready to watch this race. The stands were full here. This is a big event.
Yeah, it is a day race. Obviously, Talladega does not have lights, and probably the majority of the fans here have already knocked off a couple of weirds. The upcoming races on this season, we're not done with the major events or the Triple Crown races, as they're referred to possibly as. We started off with the Super Speedway Shootout, the 500 as well. Then we've gone with the heat race formats, the B and the A main, all the way from races 2 through 5. Back on tonight's race, again, he talked about iRock before that, a separate point standings that they run, and it was their second one so far. Greg Hooks won the first race, so he evidently led the standings on that. We'll give you updated points and stuff as they have a 4-race iRock season as well, not televised, goes on right before we come on air, but we'll keep everybody posted on the championship standings as they roll through with that. But coming up this year, again, still race 7 in 1 week's time, December the 19th, back with a 20-lap B main, 40-lap A main from Daytona. Then we have 2 off weeks, off for Christmas, off for New Year's, then back with the B and the A mains, Talladega, followed by the All-Star race. Going to be a barn burner for sure. 2 more B main and the A main formats, races 9 and 10. Then you have the Draft Hard 300, which is going to be back here at Talladega. That one, you thought this one was a long one, PD, 94 laps, 112 laps.
Oh my.
Coming up on February the 6th. That's the final race to determine the field that's going to be able to battle for the championship. And then it's all B and A mains through to the final race, the finale in Florida, 400K for 100 laps under the lights at Daytona. That one obviously going to be an exciting one as well. So there's still a lot of good stuff coming up on the season. Although we're almost halfway through nearly, we've had a lot of great races so far, and probably and most likely a lot more great races, a lot more great finishes still on the horizon this year.
Ooh, I'm sorry, I had to wipe the drool off my chin there, Evan. That the one that caught my eye was the 300K one, and I mean it's not 300K, the 300 one right before the chase. That one is good. You said the All-Star Race Meet Barn Burner. That's gonna look like a little campfire compared to this one. I mean, I think that one we're gonna see someone like Robbie Roy or a Jeff Ramsdell or he's not here tonight, but the Merchant. We're gonna see someone like that just come out of nowhere and win that race and clinch the last chase spot. We're just gonna see something spectacular, and I know it's gonna happen at that event. And man, I'm excited about that one now.
And it's going to be another restart coming up. We are 1/3 of the way through tonight's Stars Fell on Alabama 250. Again, glad to have you with us on LSRTV for our continuing coverage of Season 3 with the iRacing.com Racing Series. Pace car down and away, and got to get the safety quickly because this race has been very aggressive so far, and we've had big jump a lot so far. The 81 Mark Jorgensen going to lead us to the green flag. Back underway we go. Jared Haggerty side by side. Outside lane does not get going. Check up on the outside. That's going to give an advantage to Jorgensen and Rod Flag. They're through and clear for the bottom two spots on the bottom lane.
Yeah, leading the outside now is Larry Camp, and Shane McKeechan's going to take it 3 wide.
Camp's going backwards.
Yeah, and his number 20 Chevrolet, this was not planned. He was home late from work, so he had his son sign him up for the event, and he signed him up in a Chevy compared to his regular Toyota. We would tell you what it said, but we do not want to report child abuse on here, so Shane McKeechan's certainly not pleased to be in his normal car, but he is he's doing all he can in the Chevy.
Trouble.
Oh, caution in the back.
Oh, huge wreck. The 90 machine. This the 06.
The 06.
You can't tell because it was upside down nearly. The 48 Josh Ball, the 8 Dana Osborne involved in this one after big jump in corner number 3. All started with that 48 of Josh Ball. Looks like he tried to shoot a gap up the middle. Did not work, and actually had backed out of it, and it was a checkup with Brandon Cattell. The machine in front of him, being that 06 of Doug Sigmund, slowed it down into the bottom. Josh Ball really didn't have a lot of time to react. Hooked him up into the 8 car of Osborne. The 25 had nowhere to go in that one. 8 went up and over, and somebody came flying through this one. The 21 car of Josh Hanner. Got to get a replay from his onboard because the track was blocked in front of him, and at the last second, the seas parted, and he was able to get through with no damage.
Yeah, so another caution here. Must be something as the replay goes up on board with him. Must be something in the water tonight, I think, man. We're seeing so many early cautions in both these races. This one is quickly approaching halfway. So far, I think we've just seen some hard racing in this one. Nothing out of the ordinary. It's the same guys as usual, with just a little added talent here and there, but they'll get it underway soon. Don't worry, folks. A couple cars want to comment on. Brogan Lott has found his way back to the front. Same with Richard Holiday and Greg Hooks have also found their way back up here. And Evan, I think we should probably take this caution to get a chance to talk to our in-race reporter shortly. Let me try to dial up his radio.
He's going to try to queue up Robbie Roy on the radio, who sits right now in a top 20 position, but is unable to complete the Vidane requirement of the double after getting involved in a couple of incidents, but is here for our second race on the evening tonight. More music now being played through the audio on the number 11 team, keeping things interested. But again, it is the way that we typically see these races go, is you have a fair amount of yellows to start them off. You get a long green flag run, cautions at the end. Because this race is longer, right at the point now where we'll typically see these guys stretch out for quite a good run. Petey, I believe you do have Robbie Roy, the driver of that 14, queued up on the radio.
I have Robbie. I think I got the right channel. You got me, Robbie?
Yes, sir.
Well, Robbie, you successfully completed the Vidane double. You finished 11th on the lead lap, and you're going to try to complete it here. What's your plans moving forward in this race?
As of right now, I'm just trying to keep it clean. Getting caught up in somebody else's stupid mistake on pit road. Maybe use one reset, and then I made a mistake and tapped the wall and used up another reset, so I'm down to 2 left. But, I mean, I just want to get up to the front because it seems that I do the best of staying out of trouble when I'm in the front, so I'm going to be pushing hard to get up there.
Well, Robbie, we know you're an aggressive driver, and in this league with the aggressive setup, that can be used to your advantage. Moving forward in this race, when do we see you turn on that well-known Robbie Roy aggressiveness and try to make your way up to the lead?
Right now, really. I mean, if I'm in the front, I feel like I'm in the least danger. So I'm trying to just get by this 55 because he's a little bit all over the place. So hopefully I can get up there real quick and be out of the way.
Well, Robbie, before I let you go, what are your plans to work with your teammate? Who do you think you're going to work with here, Elliott or Richard?
It just depends. Mainly Elliott. I mean, we've worked together a lot through iSuper Speedway. This is Holiday's first race, so he's still getting used to the no pushing in the corners. But me and Elliott pretty much got it down, so we're a lot faster together. So mainly it's just going to be whoever I end up with right at that time.
All right, well, that was Robbie Roy. We'll try to keep him up in a little bit. Thanks for joining us, Robbie.
Thank you.
So again, still working under a caution flag condition at the moment with Mark Jorgensen Jr., who currently sits in control of this field. The number 81 Diet Mountain Dew National Guard Chevrolet leads this race. He started in 4th position. Biggest mover so far is Jared Haggerty, P. He started way back P26, sitting top 3 at the moment.
Yeah, and was there trouble under caution? I see McKeachin and Camp pulled over on the front stretch. I think they actually might have just been waiting on something there. None of them appear to have any new damage. And Larry Camp's actually going to reset, I believe. Wow, that's confusing. I don't know why Camp just reset like that. He had no damage.
Yeah, we have race control talk out of some of the drivers, getting some things sorted out. The 33 is still parked up against the inside retaining wall. Has been there for quite some time, pulled down just past the start-finish line, and he still sits there right now. Maybe he's waiting to have the field lap him or something for some sort of a, like admin-oriented battle. Now he has just taken a tow to pit road. Interesting. Maybe he had some sort of a wheel or pedal malfunction, which wouldn't be uncommon to see.
No, it certainly is bizarre. And one thing I want to conflict with our driver, Robbie Roy. Drivers usually know better than me, but this time I have to disagree with him. He said working with Elliott Leach may be his best advantage, and while Elliott is a fine driver, he said that Holiday doesn't know how the system works. We've seen Holiday lead in laps tonight, racing for the win. He did it in both races tonight, and he's still up there in 7th. I don't know about you, Evan, but if I was him, I think I'd go with Holiday. Holiday seems to know what he's doing tonight, and he's just been racing for the win in both these races since dropped the green flag in Daytona.
Funny part when you go, again, we've talked about this so many times, when you go to these super speedway races, is if it's a regular league, you try to survive. When you come to a league that this is all you're racing at, you gotta find some sort of a way to quote-unquote tame these racetracks. A lot of guys that have been caught up in these incidents at no fault of their own. In the same regard, a lot of the guys that have been caught up in these incidents have caused them from being over-aggressive. So there's a balance that you definitely need to find, but I mean, sometimes you can, try to do everything right, and if it's just not your night, there's nothing going to fix that because, the way that these super speedway races tend to weed out drivers, and the way that the incidents happen, it's almost up in the air, really, and a lot of it comes down to just luck of where you are at the time.
Yeah, and certainly luck is a big part of super speedways, so we're going to hopefully see some better luck at least for some of these leaders moving forward. And we're closing in halfway pretty quick on the Stars Hall in Alabama 250. I don't know why that name's just really catchy and makes you feel like you're at home. But right now we see these I-5 drivers racing good up front here. I'm going to be ready for another restart.
Yeah, we are doubled up coming out of quarter number 4, and again, it is the 81 in control of this restart pace car. Going to make the sharp left-hand turn down to pit road and going to get set for another restart coming up lap 38 of 94 in the works here tonight. And it is everybody still quite an amount of cars in the lead lap, 28 of them. After working off of some of these resets here tonight, green flag back in the air, underway from Talladega. Ron Flag had a good start up high, but doesn't have any help with the 19th machine behind him. And now, whoa, we got trouble behind these guys, wrecking off the restart.
Caution. Big wreck behind them, and oh my goodness, there are
Jimmy Tolliver's in it.
Tolliver, I see a couple others. I'm trying to get them really quick. Rapid.
Started with the 01, I believe.
Yeah, the Fletcher machine 01 was definitely involved in that one. The replay goes live right now. Okay, here we go. I got that. So the 73 of Tony Fenn returned to the field. He bumped him, turned him. Oh, it's Mark Brown. And Tolliver flipped over, and them three were involved, and it was just all three of them wrecked pretty hard. But we're under another caution, Evan.
Yeah, Mark Brown, aggressive, was on the back bumper of the 01, and I mean, was obviously not happy with the lack of acceleration, but I mean, just ran him over. Collected the 13 car, 13 went up and over the 25, gets a little bit of damage from that, and again, just another incident that would have easily been avoided. Dana Osborne, we're hearing, is having some issues. There you go, Jack Fletcher is not happy with the 73 car, but we're hearing that Dana Osborne having some issues that he cannot get out of the pits, and he's trying to do some sort of a reset thing, and he's stuck. And I believe he may be this happened to be in the iSuper Speedway Spooktacular that they had at Halloween, and it's where your car, you may have lost your engine or something happened with Dana Osborne, and this is what happened to me with Speedy. I stopped in my stall too short without my engine, so I was forced to take a tow. Once the tow was completed, the sim dropped me off still short of my stall. So no matter what we did, I was stuck with a damaged engine. Could be a similar situation that the 8 is dealing with, Petey, because he's getting black flags cleared. He's escaping out and trying to get back in, and he just can't get back going.
I might know his issue. A lot of times, if you're involved in wrecks, and especially the way his looks, guys fail to remember this, but they'll turn their gas and tires off, and I promise you he has probably done that. Not most drivers do. And Evan, this will probably help you in the future. What happens is, sometimes the fuel cell literally gets knocked out of the car, and you'll have zero fuel in the car, and you don't realize that. You have to press it to add fuel, or else your car will not move, and you'll be sitting there. And you'll feel like iRacing is glitching, but you simply just have to tell them to put fuel in your car. So it's a situation that it took me a while to figure it out, but once I figured it out, my teammate, actually Richard Holiday, informed me about it, that's how it works. But 9 out of 10 times that's your issue, and I feel like he just needs to put fuel in that car, because the way his car looks wrecked, I think he has lost the fuel cell.
Well, nonetheless, Dana Osborne is stuck, and as they continue to try to diagnose that situation, the rest of the field still paces with that 81 car on point. Mark Jorgensen leads. We're going to step away once again as we start to close in, about 7 laps shy of the halfway point in tonight's Stars Fell on Alabama 250. Going to take a quick break here and throw in some commercials. More racing coming up, though, from Talladega on the other side. Back live at the Talladega Super Speedway, where the lights on top of the pace car may go off this time by the start-finish line, and they do. So we do have one to go. Coming up to our next restart, and I feel like I keep saying it, but it is the 81 of Mark Jorgensen. He is still out front of this field right now after working off of a 7th caution flag, possibly. We do have 28 cars on the lead lap as we sit right now. Last car on the lead lap is Frank Busilia, the third. Handful of guys, only one lap out of it, 29th through 33rd, which is Cattell, Mayer, Henry, Sigmund, and Todd. You also got a couple of guys 3 laps down, Josh Ball, Larry Camp. A lot of drivers, PD, using up those resets early, and even though they're still in this race, multiple laps down.
Yeah, and that could certainly be an issue moving forward, especially for Dana Osborne, who still hasn't figured out his issues, staying on pit road 8 laps down now. Stuck there. Apparently he tried adding fuel, but that was not quite.
I think it is a glitch that I've seen before.
This I think is a glitch. This isn't the fuel thing. This is definitely a glitch. He might actually have to leave the sim and come back to fix it, which he hasn't done yet. Poor Dana Osborne, that 8 crew's just been sitting there, but someone must have put Gorilla Glue or something on them tires, because that car ain't moving.
That's a tough break for one of our drivers that is a regular here and is battling in the championship point standings, entering tonight 9th, and without a win yet, can't afford a big hit like this in a double points race.
Man, you know, when it rains, it pours, and that's just another example of it. As we get set for another restart, these boys are going to bring them down and send them off green one more time, as I believe the leader is indeed the number 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. He's going to lead him down to the flag. Rod Flag on the outside. In third is Jared Haggerty. They're getting ready for the green flag to be thrown in the air. Broken Lot is in fourth, and here we come down the green flag. Flagman has it in the air, and he has the yellow in the other hand just in case. Here they go, green, green, green. Rod Flag with a great restart. It's going to be a dead heat at the line, Evan.
Good thing that drinking word is not flagging that last sentence, Speedy, because I think you said it about 28 times, but it is Rod Flag on the outside who is able to get a nose over the 81 car, and then via that bottom lane being able to dive it down into the corner. Mark Jorgensen going to get the upper hand. Rod Flag got nobody right behind him, so the 19 coming up Broken Lot with a huge shove from the 20 of Shane McEachin. They get stopped with nowhere to go. That checks up the outside lane. 3 wide goes the 9 car of William Roberts, and up high goes Jared Haggerty. He's not wasting any time getting around that 81.
No, he is not, and here comes Jared Haggerty. He wants to find a way around Mark Jorgensen. Rod Flag is going to be right up on him. He can't push. He's the league owner. He made the rule. He knows he can't do it. And here he goes. He's going to push him. Jared Haggerty to the point. Will he wait on Flag or will he pull down? He's going to pull down. He wants to lead. Haggerty, I mean, this is a man who we saw wreck almost all the first 5 races. And look at him now. He finished second last week, and he's leading the Stars Fell on Alabama 250, Evan.
Yeah, Haggerty working with a little bit of momentum here, both figuratively and right now on track, as he's been able to get back up to the point over Mark Jorgensen Jr. He had help by the outside lane to get there, and then he dropped back down the outside lane, has slid back, and now the 81 going to do the same thing. Jumps up to the high side on him. Rod Flag and the 19 of Brogan Lot are the next 2 cars on that outside charge with quite a run. Going to have to tuck in behind the 81 machine, slow them all down. Now it's going to be Jorgensen who's on the track trying to get around the 57 PD, and it's this non-stop flow of one person goes to the high side, makes the pass, and then the next person goes up high, makes the pass, and it's all about timing. Not really now, but once it comes down to the end of the race, you got to step in line at the right moment. As the 81 gets clear, he waits a little bit longer to see if he can bring Rod Flag with him. Not going to happen, and do anticipate that 81 to drop down in line as he does.
Yeah, 11. It'd be too much work, so let's not, but I think we should start a stat, this league star stat, and it's called assists. I think you should get a point for every assist you have, because right now Rod Flag would have a ton of assists, because he's been assisting guys in the league all night. And, I mean, if you think about it in all seriousness, the assist is a serious part of what we're doing here. This second guy on the outside line is pushing the guy to the lead so he can pull to the bottom here. And I like to call it the never-ending train, because it happens. And it looks like Rod Flag might get another assist here, Evan.
Yeah, here would be the first time that we've seen one driver and you just get stuck in that spot, PD, that you're in a position to push that guy in front of you through, and before you can really get an opportunity to have, I mean, the 19 behind Rod Flag, but Brogan Lot has been a great job at pushing that 23, but once the 23 pushes somebody through, there's somebody else in front of him, and, you know, he never really gets a shot at it, which is a common trend here.
Yeah, right now it's good racing for the lead. Haggerty and Jorgensen, 2 of the seasoned veterans of this league. I always see him out here racing. Don't always have the greatest success, but they have their good runs here and there, and it's fun to watch. Great guys to talk to. Always. Oh, really?
Wow.
Wreck there. That was the most lag I've ever seen. Oh my, that wasn't even close, Evan.
And huge wreck still going. The 2 of Giratano, the 11 of Lee Heron around as well. Caution will come back out, and just like that, broad flag is hard into the outside wall. Pace car going to be coming up, and I mean, I have no idea what just happened.
He got leg
The
wrecked.
22 car
Look at
had
that.
a connection blip on the bottom. That's Ron Thompson. And those cars up high just responded as if they got hit by some sort of a drone or something, because they just went flying to the outside wall. And a huge lag incident on that one is going to take out a lot of fast runners.
I can't even believe what I just saw. That was the biggest lag wreck I've ever seen. You could fit a car in between the leg there. That's ridiculous. I mean, that was, oh my. The net code definitely happened there. I'm watching this in slow motion, and you just see the 23 randomly go around, no one even near him, and it just kicked them both around. It knocked the nose of the 19 into the air. You see that too.
2 had a hard hit as well.
It was a wreck. I can't even begin. But anyways, I guess let's just say that the 19 got into the 23 there, and that's what caused the wreck. But anyways, still racing up here for the lead. They will be soon. This time without Rod Flag, and unfortunately the 19 of Broken Watch. Just a really unfortunate wreck there for anyone who's involved. Is Shane McKeechan actually brought down pit road, missed his pit stall majorly, as we see the rest of them bring down. Mark Jorgensen came in the leader, and he's going to come down to his pit stall. He has the number 4 pit stall, and he misses it too. These guys are missing their pit stalls left and right here, Evan.
Jared Haggerty has come down pit road. He's gotten fuel added to that number 57 Ford. So he's going to roll out of the pit road right now. Scored 8th at the stripe because we didn't have a handful of guys staying out. Ron Thompson stays out. Jeff Ramsdell, Rodney Wofford, Dennis Wright, Jason Altmans, Brandon Traverko, Brian Underwood, Stephen Meyer, Elliot Leach, Kent Connolly. Then we see Jared Haggerty just up in front of the 14 machine of Robbie Roy. So the lack of uniform cycles continue, as it's pretty much been, a group of 10 this time, a group of 10 the next time by, which again could get very peculiar if we do get a long green flag run at some point, because everybody's going to be on a different strategy.
Yeah, and this is just a bizarre race up to this point. I mean, just when you think things are about to go good, something like that, huge netcode happens, A lot of it not the fault of the drivers, right? Although I will say that a few of the wrecks have been the fault of the drivers, but stuff like that, that's just bizarre and unfortunate, but these guys are still going to go at it. One driver, they actually were trying to blame the lag on someone, and they said it was probably coming from Ron Thompson. He's blinking a little bit. I guess we'll find that out, see if it happens again. The leader, Jeff Ramsdell, probably really hoped it wasn't Ron Thompson.
I do believe it was the 22, because we saw in the replay, and I know Laura had the focus car on the 22, and right as that incident happened, 22 disappeared from the track after sliding up a little bit. So I think it was the 22 that was having that connection blip issue there, which again, we always say, and Edie has not failed to mention that I always say that the iRacing equivalent of a mechanical failure is that sort of connection mishap, and I do clearly believe that it was the 22 because of the blink there, and then obviously the incident happening right next to him, acting as if it was his car that had slid up the track and hit those guys up on a high side. Do you think it was the 22 that caused it? Now, it can very easily connection go back to normal. It could be just a one-off thing. Ron's ping and does not look over necessarily higher than anybody else's, but it could cause an issue down the line as well. We'll have to keep an eye on that 22.
Yeah, so tough break for everyone involved in that one, but we still are under pacing here, Evan, and well, these guys are probably getting patient with these cautions here. This is normally a fantastic league. Besides the opening event, which we saw many weird things happen, I think you remember that one, Evan, and we've basically seen 1 to 2 cautions raced since then. It's been very clean up until this point.
And it seems to be like a a curse of sorts with these endurance races, because Daytona had its struggles. This one has had its struggles. We've passed the distance now to the point. This race is like essentially 2 A mains. back-to-back in a row. So again, it is significantly longer. It is not as long as our Daytona race, I don't believe. I'll double check. Our Daytona race, the IC Super Day 500, was 124 laps. So I do believe that that being a 500-kilometer race, that they're, pretty much even with each other. But again, this league does run a very aggressive set with the drivers as well, which, is obviously not going to be the cause of that lag incident there, but could be the cause of some of the more bumper hook incidents.
And, right now, I think we're in for a good green run. It's due. It's well due, and we have a nice feel right now, the way things are rounding out. I like the way everything has turned out. We have all the good drivers where they need to be, and there's really no not good drivers in here, but drivers with maybe damaged cars or bad connections or just have rough nights or towards the back. So, should easily fix itself here in the upcoming laps. As we see, I'm going to take it through the top 10 right now, actually. The double up to the restart. Leader Ron Thompson, second Jeff Ramsdell, third Rodney Wofford, fourth Dennis Wright, fifth Brandon Chaburkart, sixth Brian Underwood, seventh Kent Connolly, started dead last, moved 39th to 7th, 8th Jared Haggerty, 9th Richard Holliday, and 10th Elliot Leachy Boy.
Going to continue to run it down through everybody's sits. You got Robbie Roy, Jason Altmans, Greg Hooks, Jack Fletcher, Mark Jorgensen Jr. Through 15th position, 16th through 20th, Shane McEachin, Broken Lawn, Derek Walker, William Roberts, Tommy Hall. Then you got Chad Keen, Ray Rittenauer at the second, Lee Heron, Stephen Meyer, Josh Hanner, Frank Lucilia. Rounding out our 26-car lead lap, Frank's been taking it real easy here tonight so far, PD. Just kind of green flag back in the air, and we're racing once again from Talladega past the halfway point, and now on the downhill side of things, the one car's going to get clear, PD, just like that up high.
Yeah, and he's
three wide.
Point 3 wide in the back. Burko, well, does that surprise you?
Haggerty, Chaburko, bouncing off each other. The three cars going to get turned.
Saved it, maybe? No, probably.
Oh, and it's around.
Oh my God, what is going on? More lag, no caution. His car looked like it looked like he was surfing on a wave there. Look at the way that thing bounced. It was bouncing off the ground like the ground was made of trampoline material, and he was a bouncy ball.
Yeah, Haggerty and him got together, and
oh my God, that was bizarre. Look
the
at that.
three car was clear. Yeah, the 57 got into Chaburko, and I think Chaburko could have gone down, but he wasn't happy that Chaburko had hit him. And, they were kind of hitting each other on purpose, but the three car was fading in and out of the ground there, which was quite a strange incident. And, even on onboard, the machine was just kind of things that may, and obviously not a tribute to it, but the high amount of quick fixes is allowing all these drivers to get back on track, which is why, PD, it's not like we're weeding guys out of this, because everybody's essentially still on track for the most part.
I love this league, and I love everything they do. That's one thing I don't disagree with. I don't think you need to give them 4 quick fixes. I could see 2, and I'd even take it down to 1, but I could see giving them 2. But if you give them 4, you're inviting them to wreck as much as they want for as long as they want, and no, they'll get a new car every time. But there's literally no way to get knocked out of this race unless you're in every single caution. So it's just kind of, I think, over excessive to try to keep these guys in the field.
Well, nonetheless, we are still working under what is going to be another caution flag at lap number 53. At the moment, want to take this opportunity to talk about some of our results from these previous weeks, beginning with last week's race results. From December the 5th, it was Shane McEachin, who the only driver in the top 16, or rather the top 10, PD, to lead any laps. Led 16 of them, took home the win 1 week ago. Jared Haggerty was second, Dana Osborne third, Rod Flag was fourth, Dennis Wright was in fifth. Corey Henry took home 6th, Giratano 7th, Jimmy Todd at 8th, 9th to Josh Hanner, and Ray Rittenauer the second came home in 10th, which gives us an updated look at the Season 3 championship standings, which again, not all that relevant at the moment. Obviously going to come a major factor rolling forward for the chase cutoff as well, so not really paying attention to who's at the top as far as who's at the tail end of this top 10, but it is Shane McEachin who leads the driver standings right now. Greg Cook's 22 back, 31 back, Rod Flag. Joshua Hanner, 34 out of it. Tied for 5th, Brandon Cattell, Hunter Bowles at 38 back. Brandon Chaburko is 7th, 42 back. 51 back at 8th is Dennis Wright. Dana Osborne 9th, and Josh Ball rounds out the top 10 in the standings.
Yeah, and You know, this is a tough break. A lot of these guys are really upset what's going on right now, and I can't blame them. I would be too, but I still think good racing's ahead of them. I think this issue will probably fix itself eventually, if not sooner than later, hopefully. But moving forward, it should be interesting to watch. Needless to say, when these guys get going well, they get going great, and it's always one heck of a show to watch. So I expect to see. I mean, there's not a bad driver I can spot out in this field. I don't know about you, but this league is just stacked with good drivers, so they are bound to get a good run here soon.
Lights do remain on the pace car after almost to add insult to injury, PD. These caution laps almost seem like we're getting an extra one on everyone because the yellows are taking quite a significant amount of time. A couple drivers, again, still discussing over the radio. Shane McKeechan not satisfied at the moment. We do have 25 cars on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap is Chubb Hart and Brandon Chaburko in the number 3 Goodwrench Chevrolet as always. But I mean, we are starting to see a lot more cars now fall out of this race. I mean, it looks like 34 still on track at the moment. So for all the incidents and only having 5 guys out of the race, I think that it would entail, PD, maybe a little bit too many quick fixes.
Yeah, and that's probably something that's upsetting these drivers so far, but who knows, and it's just fun to watch.
Well, if you get wrecked, you're not complaining, but if you get wrecked by somebody that's wrecked 3 times, then you're probably not happy.
Someone like Frank Busilia, if he gets wrecked late in this race by someone who's used 3 resets and he's used none, I would be pretty upset. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's just the difference in approaches that different drivers take. It's the difference in track.
Fairly newcomer to the league. In second, you got Dennis Wright, Warford, and Underwood. Kent Connolly is up there in the top 5, so we have some new faces up there. It's always nice to see the new guys get their shot, and with being as big an event as this is, I actually saw the trophy they were considering getting on Facebook, and it is a nice trophy for this race. This is like the race where I wouldn't even be worried about the points. I'd be worried about winning that sweet trophy they're giving out.
That's not something that, again, is restricted, I guess you could say, to this league, or rather to this race, because all races, all year long, hand out a trophy, as well as the iSuper Speedway 500's got a pretty cool trophy, the championship trophies as well. So a little bit of added incentive to come out here and race, and you can walk away with some legitimate hardware.
And right now, though, Jeff Ramsdell certainly wants to win that trophy. It actually looks like a big globe with stars in it, this trophy for this race that they're considering getting. It's nice, and it's really cool that their owner, Rod Flag, is willing to put out the cash to buy something like that. And he puts out all the cash for the I-5 bonuses and whatnot. And it's just Rod Flag's a very stand-up character in this league. Very good guy to have run your league.
Again, just kind of monitoring some of the driver chat that you guys, obviously the people in the broadcast, don't have access to, and you probably can't repeat some of the things that the drivers are saying to each other. But yeah, it's going to be a restart coming up. 39 laps to go this time by, and we're set to get this one rolling. Pace car down at the way. The 1 car going to be in control. Everybody group back up, and we'll give her another crack at it. The 1 car going to lead us through the tri-oval. Green flag going to now fly from the flag stand as we round through the tri-oval. Back underway. Looks like a pretty even start for those guys on the front row. Advantage to Ramsdell on the bottom.
And if they're going green again, we have a battle on the outside. The 54 is going to try and run for as many of these guys want a grace green, and they're going to do a good job. But Underwood makes his return to the league. Last time we saw him and Chaburko had some issues. They're going to be battling. Here comes Elliott Leach in the 41. Leach is going to come down low, get with his partner in the 14 of Robbie Roy. We heard Robbie say he would work with him if he could find him, and Robbie is ready to go now, and here they come. He's going to push the double 88 of Kent Connolly as they're trying to find a way to the front of him, as Jeff Ramsdell still leading.
Outside lane slides 2 car lengths back to where the 54 to dead is right. He leads that charge with help from 42 car tucked up behind him of Brian Underwood. And then from there on back, really no immediate help. Sideways, nearly trouble for the 14 of Robbie Roy. Got a little bit sideways out of back bumper to the 41 car. Nothing going to come from that, but again, the connection seems to be a little bit on edge at this point. The 81 going to go higher. Mark Jorgensen Jr. PD going to help out those guys on the high side. outside now, 3 cars strong. Down off of quarter number 2, down the back straightaway, but Ramsdale looking pretty good right now. However, here comes that 54, Dennis Wright. Now that he's got some help.
Here they come on the outside. Good charge. Dennis Wright, an I-5 contender, is looking to take this lead. They're going at speeds of 200 miles per hour right now, racing side by side without pushing, but without a side draft. And here they come. And the 54 is not going to be able to get there this time. Jeff Ramsdale in the 1 car, but man, is he sure trying to get there. And it's going to be closer than I thought it was going to be. 54 is going to not lead that lap, but he is there. Underwood pushing them, and right behind them is that 81 Jorgensen and Howler, 2 guys up front all night. So the Stars are starting to show their power right now as this race gets into the late goings.
This race really starting to get down to the end of it here. 2 wide now from what was only 2 cars up high the last time around, Petey. Now 6, 7, 8 strong up on a high side, 2 wide. Now pretty much all the way through this lead pack that sits still 20 cars strong. Very compact. Small movement to the bottom by the 98 Grey Cooks. 19 machine has to make some evasive action. And to the high side goes the 54 Dennis Wright dropping back.
Very interesting call this early in the race. Guess he's just going to drop it. Oh, 98 Grey Cooks turn, and there's going to be another wrecking of caution.
Huge trouble this time at the start-finish line. The 19 around, the 98, the 48, the 3, the 92, all starting again after the 97 of Jared Haggerty gave the bumper to the left rear of Grey Cooks, Petey, and it sent them around into the 19, back up into the 3 of Jaburka, who got collected in that huge hit for the 48. We go back under caution flying conditions just like that, and we just started to say, you know, we're down to the latter stages. It's going to start to calm down. Well, not to start to calm down, but, you know, it's going to start to have more people starting to set themselves up for it. And then out of nowhere, a car gets turned mid-pack.
And, man, things are starting to go well there, and things are going back under caution as Jeff Ramsdale, going to be your leader with Ronnie Warford behind him. Saw some great racing while it lasted of them, but didn't last long enough for these guys as they're going to try to get some more action, but it has to be tough to be a driver. This has to be difficult to drive under these conditions.
Now that we slow them back down at this point, we are 2/3 of the way through tonight's Stars Fell on Alabama 250. You're watching live on LSRTV. Going to have some pit stops coming up here under caution flying conditions. We'll catch up on those after we take a yellow of ourselves. Going to step away for a moment, throw out the commercial break. We'll bring you back in time for the restart on LSRTV.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun, but there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Back live from the Talladega Super Speedway as PD was bringing us back but was in the wrong channel. So that was an adventure. So is tonight. We're battling through a string of caution flags here, currently working on lap 62. PD is laughing in my ear, and you guys can't hear it, so he's distracting me. So we're going to blame it on him. PD, it's been a fun one for us. We've got to see a lot of NASCAR so far. I know a lot of the drivers aren't quite enjoying it as much as we are, but there is a little bit of fuel strategy going on.
Yeah, Robbie, Roy, and Elliott Leach think they can make it to the end. It's going to be real close. They might be a lap or two short, but they're saving with these cautions. Real interesting fact about Elliott Leach, he's actually one of the people who records 5 seconds of Summer's music, so we always like to bring that up. He gets a little embarrassed sometimes, but he does record music for 5 seconds of Summer, so it's always nice to bring that up. And talk about the league drivers' interesting hobbies here. Do you know any other interesting hobbies, Evan?
Well, we have heard Lee Heron be playing the Taylor Swift. So that, I mean, you do you.
I think if we get another caution here, we might just have to go find something from the. Yeah, we'll have to get another quick caution.
We definitely need to get that link going. As well with the PD dancing link. What do you think, PD?
Oh, let's just skip that and go right
or
to
is
Elliott
that
singing.
commercial ready yet?
Oh no. Well,
probably shut us down at this point. Not listening to us. The lights are off for the base guard. Coming up for a restart. It is gonna be 31 laps to go. That's, still about 3/4 of what is their A main, so there's still a good distance left in this race, and hopefully we can get, some green flag laps in. The drivers would appreciate it, and and then, you know, we can really
Think we
knock off
would.
some of these laps here and get down to the end of this thing as well, because we don't like caution. They don't like pacing around. You know, everyone's a lot happier when it's green.
Actually, on this caution, we went down and talked to a few drivers. We ended up talking to Elliott Leach, Robbie Roy, and Rich Hollis. Had a nice laid-back conversation. We decided that if we run out of things to say, we're just going to have a nice casual conversation. So we get another quick conversation. You might get to hear what me and Evan's plans are for the weekend.
Well, let's wait until our next yellow, because we are getting set to go green. Saving fuel, question mark, for the 41 of Elliott Leach. He rode the apron. We have worked so far on 9 cautions, so closing in on double digits coming up if we get one more caution in this race. But pace car is down and away, lap 64, about to be in the works at 94, so 31 laps to go. This time by the start-finish line, 2/3 of the way through. Tonight's stars fell on Alabama 250, and we're back underway. Small checkup on the outside lane. The 81 slightly got into the back of 42, causing a little bit of a slowdown there. Advantage to the inside by 2 car lengths.
Yeah, and right now, the tandem on the outside, the 42 and 81, trying to get hooked up together. Oh, there's some contact in the back. They save it. Leach and Robbie Roy trying to make some moves. They are not.
It's Larry
clear, though.
Camp. Big trouble for the 33 car, PD. Got
The
just
88 just moved.
the 97 just drove right into the door of Larry Camp and shot him out of line. He was able to hang on to it and keep going, but things could have got ugly there in the back.
They could have indeed got ugly as we have a shift in positions up front. Elliott Leach through the second, and the 088 moved out of the way, and now it's just a problem if the 14 and 41. They're going to make a move here. That was pretty close, but they're going for it. Here they go. 7 has no help. I don't see this ending too well for him. 14 and 41 reverse their numbers. Gets the same thing every time. And we have a new leader this time by the number 41 of Elliott Leach. It's going to be close, though, if they can clear the 7. The 7 actually got some help right away. We know they're committed to each other, though, so I don't expect Leach to pull down.
A little bit of a bobble there. The 088 of Kent Connolly working with Rodney Wofford down on the bottom. The 41 of Elliott Leach is clear, PD, but again, trying to stay with his teammate in that 14 car, sticking it out on the high side, hanging with him, something that you don't typically see here in a super speedway because of the fact that it's so hard to even just get one car length clear to get down in line.
Yeah, but these are the type of teammates that they're so committed to each other. You see them, I would never expect to see them betray each other. Their sheer commitment. If it was late in the race, I could see one of them pulling down, but right now, they're racing hard with Rodney Warford. And that lap, Warford by 4/1000, so this has been close the last few laps. The racing's really getting good right now, heating up on the outside, and Brian Underwood is trying to get part of this outside battle with help from Mark Jorgensen. Holiday at the end of that one, as things are starting to get real shaky up in that outside line, and the inside line is having not the same issue as Rodney Warford and Kent Connolly. Remember, he started 34th. If he was to win this race, he would have came from last to first tonight. Is running P2 right now, Evan.
And the 088 to Kent Connolly started way back, 39th position in this race. The 41 of Elliott Leach requesting, we're going 3 wide in the corner, but the 41 is requesting that race control please review the 088 machine of Kent Connolly, who was pushing.
Robbie Roy spinning and caution is out. Oh, he gets hit hard, and that 14 machine is broken. Only car involved in that one, I believe. So caution is out once again here from Talladega, and the replay is live. Looks like the 92s came up with the 42, and 14 got the bad end of it. There's only one involved in that one. But we're under caution again, Evan.
And the 81 who was right behind that, Mark Jorgensen Jr., not happy with the 14 car. I don't see the 14 doing anything wrong in that situation. It looks like obviously the 42 got to his inside, but I mean, watching it from a, like a straight on camera angle, don't see the 14 really moving down. If anything, the 42 slid up into him and then hit him again. It sent the 14 car around. The good news is that Robbie Roy is essentially the only car involved in that incident. Everybody else able to get through. Chaburko took a little bit of a off-road excursion down through the grass in corner number 2 to be able to successfully avoid any post-incident checkups, which have been known in the past, PD. You get around the incident, you throw it low and you slide back up on track and you cause a secondary incident just from trying to get around the first one. So Chaburko not taking any chances down through the grass, and it's going to be a one-car incident with that 14.
These guys are having, I guess, not too much fun right now. conversation going on in chat right now. Yeah, while we're under this caution, I'll take the opportunity to ask you guys, how's Week 13 been going for you guys? An official thing we do in iRacing a lot. You guys
Week 7, technically.
Actually, yeah,
this
technically
year.
it's Week 7. Actually, you guys, comment in the chat if you're interested. But after this, I know me and Evan actually had some plans to do some Week 7 racing. They're at Charlotte tonight, which is always fun. It'll be basically like doing this, except with street stocks at Charlotte, wide open.
And timeout. I don't think fun is necessarily the word.
It's intense.
We need to find a
I
better,
got a deal for you guys. You put your name into the comments right now.
entertaining, exciting.
Say your iRacing name, and you say your iRacing name. Me and Evan will, if you're in our split, me and Evan will be in top split. I guarantee you. So, whenever me and Evan are in top split, if you guys can make top split, I will give you me and Evan's setup. Me and Evan have a very good setup, so if you get in there with us, we'll have a bunch of fun. Give you a setup. Just comment your iRacing name in the chat, and you can race with me and Evan. Official Week 7 street stocks from Charlotte. Should be a bunch of fun, Evan. I can't wait to do it. We should start probably around 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I think.
So I tried to bring our executive producer up to the broadcast booth, and now I have had my magical permissions taken away. But Laura is begging for us to give her a plug. She's going to be racing Wednesday night, and it's going to be streamed either on here or on Twitch as well for the Elwood Racing Series. I do believe it is. Wednesday's one of the weeks, Petey, that we don't actually have a broadcast on LSRTV. So we'll see if Laura can race. She's always, doing all the technical stuff, and she complains that she never gets an opportunity to do the official stuff. So we're going to judge her very harshly to see how she does. I think that's the plan.
That was definitely the plan. And don't be shy, guys. Comment your name in the chat. Me and Evan really want to race with you guys. Hey, if you guys don't want to do it, I'm so excited. We'll be live on tonight too. Laura's going to be broadcasting the race. One of us will probably come back and commentate. It will be standard cameras. It will be a lot of fun. Just be sure to come cheer on Laura. Laura does a lot of work with this LSRTV and stuff, and clearly we wouldn't be here without her. Clearly,
I didn't know that she did a lot of work with the LSRTV.
Clearly, without Laura, me and Evan would be probably like, I don't know what me and Evan would be doing right now, but sure as hell wouldn't be this.
Probably sleeping.
I'd probably be taking a nice nap right now. I'd probably doing some street stocks.
Oh, street stocks. We need one of the things that I find interesting about the ice Super Speedway, obviously they're using the Cup car. And if you compare it to some other Super Speedways, I hate the Gen 6 cars on plate tracks. I don't know about you, PD, but the trucks are my favorite, and then the B car. But I just don't like these Cup cars. They're really hard to handle in traffic with all the air bouncing off of them on plate tracks. I don't know if that's you. That's just my unexpert opinion. Whatever. Yeah, you get the idea.
So I know a lot of you guys actually like watching this one broadcast of Dane last week, where you got to listen to me and Evan's in-car radio. Go back
was that
and
the
watch
one
it.
where you arc a brake to me in 1 and 2 and took me out of the race? I think I remember that. I'm not sure.
I know you guys like to watch that. Be careful going back to watch that. There is some language in there that probably should be above 13 to watch. But anyways, so it's very ironic what's happening. But tomorrow, the League Island Bull Ring, Evan cannot make it as he has a family Christmas party. So I will be Evan's backup despite all of our differences on the track tomorrow.
And it said if PD can get me a solid finish, then all will be forgiven. So we'll see.
Yeah, it should be fun. I think my crew has a good setup. Hopefully we'll get it done. I'll try to update you guys how it goes.
The self-proclaimed king of the street stock.
Hey, I wouldn't say I'm the king, but I'm one of the better drivers there is in the street stock. Mark Arthur and Spencer Freed and all them can kick my butt any day, but I'm pretty good in the street stock. You have your cars, Evan, I have my cars, and it's just
I don't have my cars. I'm bad at everything. I have like 18 official wins. Fine, I mean, it's not that bad for the amount of starts that I have, but
yeah, well, Evan, I think you're like 4th in points. You're not doing that bad. You're ahead of a pro driver right now.
I should be 2nd in points, but I got wrecked by a couple of people that we're not going to name.
Mr. Save Master, but I mean, you're in front of a pro right now in points, Evan. You can't be too disappointed.
I'll take it.
But either way, we're having a bunch of fun, having some fun in the booth, and as always, just looking out for some action on the track. And actually, Kent Connolly's our leader right now. I think. Kent Connolly is our leader, so from 34th to 1st now, and things got shuffled and Robbie Roy wrecked clearly, so we have a new leader now, and we'll see if we get one to green. If we do, we'll probably go back to race chatter. And
Probably. We may not, you know.
We may not. I promise you guys, if we get another caution, I promise all you fans, I will get you a clip of Elliott Leach singing, and it will be like a 10-second clip.
I don't know if they want that, though.
I won't overdo it, guys, because it's becoming through my mic, but I will get you a 10-second clip of fourth-place driver Elliott Leach singing if we get another caution real quick.
May just get kicked off of that team after this, but
He can't kick me off. I own it, Evan.
we'll find out.
Take it over.
Yeah. So we do have 24 cars that are still on the lead lap in this race. A couple of guys, only a handful laps down, still relatively in contention. Giratano and Lott are 1 lap down. A pair of guys that are 2 laps down, Rittenauer and McKeechin. Sigmund's 3 out of it. A couple guys 4 laps down, Larry Camp, Josh Ball. So if they can... I mean, there's not going to be enough yellows for the guys that are 3-4 laps down to get their laps back, but a couple of those guys, you know, P25 and 26, if you're a Tony Giratano, a Brogan Lott, still have a chance that if you get a yellow, could get back up into this race. And as well, all 24 cars on the lead lap, still at the end of the lead lap, is Frank Busilia, just staying out of everything, is still in a good position right now.
Yeah, and saved his cars all night. Definitely one of the smarter drivers so far in this race going at it, and he's going to be in pretty decent running. He could. I wouldn't be surprised if he won this race. Honestly, at this point, he ran the smart strategy the whole show, and he's back in 24th right now. But I think he's probably going to start going now. I can't see him not going Evan this week. Get ready for another restart. Oh, we're green.
A green flag back at air and underway. The top 3 pulling away just a little bit in comparison to each other on the outside. The 9 car, William Roberts, trying to get help from the 41 of Elliott Leach. Can he get clear? They get into the corner. 41's going to back off the bumper. And because of that, it's not going to allow William Roberts to duck down in line. Kent Connolly going to battle back as they come out of quarter number 2 down the back straightaway. He is going to need some help from that 4 of Tommy Hall. Not right up on the bumper quite yet. And because of that, give it to the 9 car. He's clear. Does he duck down in line or does he try to wait? He hesitated. Now he goes down. He's going to go to the race lead. Give it to the 9 car. And now the 41 of Elliott Leach is going to be working again with his teammate, Richard Holliday.
Yeah, he lost his other teammate Robbie Roy, but lucky for him, he has his teammate Richard Holliday right behind him. Holliday, a much more aggressive driver than Robbie Roy, and here they come on the outside. Holliday is not afraid to let up. He's getting right near him on the trail, but you can't push there, but he's doing everything but push him. And here comes the 41. 41's going to have the advantage this time by, I believe. Maybe no. William Roberts had it barely, but Holliday and 41 looking to make some noise. Remember, this is Holliday's just his debut in this series, and what a showing he's put on tonight. I mean, he's quickly proved he's one of the ones to watch out for.
And again, a lot of the drivers hopping into this league via the Friday night Super Speedway doubleheaders with Verdane, which is why we've seen a lot of new faces over here and a lot of new faces on the Verdane side of things. Closing in now on 20 laps to go. The 41 still leads the outside charge. The 9 is your race leader, and he sits down on the bottom lane. That is William Roberts, still with help from Kent Connolly, and 2 wide all the way to the back. Thanks to they seem to have calmed down temporarily. The 42 of Underwood took a look to the high side. Now 3 wide. Brandon Cattell to the outside. Ducks back in line behind Jared Haggerty. That 80 car all over the place.
Yeah, and oh my, we're starting to see the little dive in that we saw with Chaburko there. That got me scared. But right now the outside line trying to make a charge. Holliday and Leach. Last week, you remember Leach was leading, coming down late in the race. We thought he was going to win it. Him and Robbie Roy had made some moves. Oh, they're wrecking on the backstretch. Caution's out.
Trouble behind him. Brandon Cattell is backwards on track. Oh, and he comes back up at a huge hit. Derek Walker in this one as well. Chaburko is turned around. Caution flag flies. Everybody behind him going to come to a stop, and a heavy damage on the 80 as Brandon Cattell backed that thing back up on track. Got nailed by the 19 car. Replay going live now. Not surprised that it started with that 80 car, PD. He may have been struggling with a frame rate issue or some sort of lag because it was all over the place for the lap before. And, I mean, may have gotten hooked by the... Did he get a tap from the 14 car? Trying to get an angle if the 14 might have got him in the left rear. It looks like a little bit of net code. The 14 may have clipped him in the left rear, sent them around. He hooked the 55, and they were wrecking from there on.
Yeah, and that was certainly a tough hit there with the 14 and everyone getting involved. So we're under yet another caution here, folks. I think it's like the 11th caution of the race, and we're 1 minute away from prime time television, folks. It's getting exciting.
could tell Crab walks that 80 machine down to pit road at probably about a 15 degree angle. He's down in for service. A lot of guys going to be cycling down this time as well. Fuel, if you pit now, you're good. It's just coming in at about 20 laps, so could see a lot of these guys just top off, not really have to worry about any more fuel strategy from here on out, unless they feel like, they're already good via their earlier pit stops, and it looks like most of these guys feel like they're good to the end here on fuel, so don't really expect that to be a factor. Otherwise, or at least you would think that if they were cutting it close, they would have just topped off on this one, so everybody should be good in fuel-wise.
Yeah, and this caution will give us another chance to just talk about things, and I promised you guys last caution got a quick one. I would give you some Elliott Leach clips, but I'm actually going to bring him up this time, and we're going to play it with him in here so he can explain it to you guys. So I'm going to go find his radio channel.
So this is what happens when we get on air at 9 o'clock, as things, or 9 o'clock on the West Coast, going on midnight on the East Coast, and we got the radio going, Petey.
Yeah, queued up Elliott Leach. Elliott, got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, Elliott, I brought you up on more of a lighter note. We're just kind of up here enjoying the cautions and racing so far, and we thought we'd give a little bio blast on our leader right now. And Elliott, so we know that you're pretty involved with the music industry. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, you guys must be strapped for topics to speak about.
Just a little.
Well, I guess I attend the University of New Haven in West Haven, Connecticut. I'm a Bachelor of Arts for music and sound recording, so basically just being an audio engineer. And you yourself, Petey, have recently discovered the fact that I am somewhat musical. Looking around on my SoundCloud page and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. Music's cool. Let's go with favorite bands. Favorite band is Green Day, but I mainly like, anything heavy.
Are you into the Taylor Swift? Are you into the Taylor Swift that we had over the radio?
Wait, hold on. Have 1 second. Fans, I need you guys to... I'm going to give you guys a 10-second clip from his SoundCloud of Elliott Leach singing. So you guys are going to get to hear the musical genius that is Elliott Leach. I don't know how it's going to sound. I'm back. I don't know how it's going to sound with my mic, so I'm only going to play 10 seconds of it.
Oh, Petey, come on.
You get to hear Elliott Leach singing
This
here,
is happening.
Folks. This is what happened. It's prime time, folks.
How... Oh, my lord. All right.
Oh, the mic cut out.
Okay, Evan, go on for a second. I need to find a good way to do this.
All right, so Petey works on his whatever. I don't know what he's doing.
While Petey works on getting himself fired.
Okay,
yeah.
I got this.
Were you a fan of the Taylor Swift that was coming over the radio of the 11 team?
You know what? At first it was obnoxious, but then I discovered that he was using it kind of tastefully, and I warmed up to it. I gotta say, I warmed up to it a little bit.
Tastefully used. Okay.
Now, folks,
yes.
I actually have found a way to play the Elliott Leach music now, so please listen to our dear friend Elliott Leach.
Oh, you picked the worst song.
Don't pay for your sins.
Okay, so that was just a quick clip there of our leader right now. Remember, a leader in the race in Talladega, Alabama, where all the rednecks are out to watch our dear singer Elliott Leach lead this race, folks.
I'm gonna talk to your superior after this.
I think we've tortured him enough. We'll let him get back to
We'll let
his,
you go back to your crew, Elliott. Sorry, we're having some good fun up here.
Thank you.
See, so that was Elliott Leach, just having some fun.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, it is now history. That is right. We are a part of history, Petey.
Explain.
You just made history. Oh? Well, I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. How the first time we've found a driver that sings with a very airy
Today
voice.
is December the 13th on the East Coast now. Again, I'm on the West Coast. It's only 9 o'clock here. But it is December the 13th, 2014 on the East Coast, which is 12/13/14. This is the last time we're going to get a consecutive date like that in like 80 something years.
More than 80 of it. It's gonna be like probably not 100. It's gonna be like 2110. I don't know. It's
Like
gonna be a while.
80
We're
something
not-
years.
Either way, me and Evan aren't gonna be alive to see it probably.
Or if we are, we probably won't remember this moment. So this is
Oh.
history. We're glad to have everybody in the chat. We're kind
We're
of
a
keeping an
family.
eye on your conversations there and whatever this has turned into. The fun night out at Talladega. We got Taylor Swift. We got drivers singing on the radio. We got We are with the lights off in a race car. This race is going to be coming up on 16 to go.
Yeah, and it's gonna be intense. I mean, I hope they don't wreck again, but if they do, we're prepared.
But why is
So let's
the
be
number?
ready.
Why is the number plate for the 03 machine a sun with sunglasses smiling?
Oh, that's a very good question. I don't know that answer.
We have
Evan.
an answer from that from the control room, Laura.
Oh,
There are a couple of drivers with their number plates, and the number plate is a cartoon sun that is smiling and has shades on.
so that is Richard Holiday.
Laura's
actually.
answer was yes. There is
So-
no explanation. It is just a thing.
Well, Elliott was saving gas there. I think we should note that, and he's going to be leading this field to green. His teammate right behind him. So he's trying to get his first win in this series, and maybe he can sing us a victory song. Here we go, getting ready to go down to the green flag. They wave the green flag in the air, and he is trying to win the Stars Fell on Alabama 250.
A green flag back at air, advantage to Elliott Leach at the start-finish line. Down on the bottom, the 9-car William Roberts leads the outside charge. Too wide through this lead pack. Oh, trouble! We got turned right here, middle of the pack. Somebody got sent down to the bottom. The 18 machine hanging on to it is Jimmy Todd. Got sent down to the bottom after Rod Flagg got into the back of him after he checked up in front of Rod. Went down to the bottom, got into the 21 of Josh Hanner.
3 wide,
Somehow
3.
everybody
Oh,
hangs
caution.
on 4 wide, and now Rod Flagg going to throw the yellow.
That saved Elliott Leach's race right there. When that caution came out, he had the lead by a nose. They were 3 wide. His teammate somehow got under him, and that really messed him up. And that may have saved Leach's race there, folks. It was number 18, folks, that had wrecked previously. We're going to go back and see what happened there. Race control's going to throw the caution for that one because that was clearly needed
Yeah,
one there.
there was actually another car that went around behind him. Looks like the 21 did eventually spin out, which was caught up in that. That's the Josh Hanner entry.
The
he
2 car was
slid,
involved,
he
too.
slid back up on a racetrack, but it all started with that 18 machine who was trying to. I mean, Jimmy Todd not happy with the other drivers, but I mean, it looks like he just turned down on Greg Hooks.
Yeah, and I mean, for a driver like Elliott, this has to be his mulligan right here. His race just got saved by this caution, folks.
He's able to get a saving grace in the regard that, again, he could have been 3 wide and he would have most likely been going the wrong direction. Backwards through that middle sucker hole and sliding back. But the caution flag flies at a very opportune time for him because it is going to allow him to, again, stay in a lead lap position and stay on the top spot the way it all fell. So a saving grace on behalf of the 41, which could play a factor in the end of the race. Interesting that his teammate Tweedy actually went down low on him though.
I mean, I've had a good chance. I've been racing with Richard Holiday for about 2 years, a very dear friend of mine. And Holiday is one of them guys that you could be he could have been racing his grandma out there, and he would have been like, I want to win this race. Richard Holiday doesn't take prisoners. He'll work with you, but if he sees daylight, don't be surprised if he takes daylight, even if it is on his teammate or friend.
And again, the fact that we're getting down to the crunch time here, lap 81 in the works at 94, we're going to step away for the final time during race conditions, and we'll bring you back for the final 10 or so laps and determine who's going to take the checkered flag after a long Stars Fell on Alabama 250. The race to the checkers coming up. Stay tuned. You're watching LSRTV.
Speedway with the Super Speedway League, and we are watching some great action tonight, folks. These guys are putting on one heck of a show, and before we left you, we saw Elliott Leach saving grace, beat us caution. We're going to have just 11 laps go and they go green, and it's going to be the front row teammates, Leach and Holiday. It should be interesting to see how that one shakes out. I was talking to them under caution. Apparently they have some plans to get that worked out, but Leach is still extremely close on gas, so who knows what could happen here.
That 41 car has got a lot of stuff on the windshield. I noticed that once I was able to get a better computer that I could actually have, like better graphics and stuff, it's worse because there's so much like crap that gets put on your windshield.
You can turn that off if you want in your settings, but good gosh, that was a ton of stuff. I mean, it's all just Holiday. Actually,
like
all
there's
these
like, like the bottom right corner of that windshield got like burned, like it was on fire at some point. There's a couple of like black spots on it.
The first car with the clear windshield's Robbie Roy. Whenever I look back through these cars, so
that's a good way. Maybe that's a way to tell who's used the quick fix more recently.
Well, no, it was just windshield tear off, Evan. Just pit stop.
Well, essentially, when you pit at some point, you're gonna have some damage, and it's a quick fix.
Okay. Hey, but actually, we heard that the 03 is not to use a single one tonight, which is kind of surprising the way we've seen cautions.
Well, we're gonna find out. He's gonna have a couple in the back pocket, but does he need to, and will he be given an opportunity as well if he would need to use that? The pace car down and away. Restart coming up. Only 11 laps to go. The stars fell on Alabama 250. Field in the hands of the driver of the 41 Ford of Elliott Leach. Green flag in air as we cycle out of the tri-oval. Back racing once again. 3 wide already. Back in the back. Somebody trying to make moves 3 wide. Looks like it may be the 87 car making it 3 wide.
Yeah, we have a battle for the lead. The two teammates, Elliott Leach and Richard Holiday. Holiday leading the outside charge, Leach on the inside. Leach with help from William Roberts. Holiday with help from Jeff Ramsdale. Oh my, the 22 car almost got into the 1 car there. That would have been detrimental for the leaders. As right now, Leach is still your leader. They're going to be coming to 10 to go this time by. The stars have almost fell, and here comes Richard Holiday flying through. Will he take the lead, or will he take that strategic staying on the outside path that we've seen a lot of guys do? He's going to not have the opportunity. He's just going to kind of hang up there.
Yeah, the 41 going to come back now on the bottom. 03 has help from the 1 car up high of Jeff Ramsdale. And these guys have a trophy on the line coming up for this race, so they're going to be digging for it. This time by, only 10 laps to go. Small connection blip there for the 92. The 22 of Ron Thompson still sliding up the racetrack. Look at the 3 wide, but the 81 and Chaburgo. Oh, the 03's up high. That's Holiday going backwards.
Yeah, him and Jeff Ramsdale made contact. 03 made a bad misjudgment. And
92 car gets turned around. That's Stephen Meyer around at a quarter number 2. Caution flag will fly. More trouble. Frank Busilia's in it. The 96 car, the 2.
He has a ton of resets.
The 18, the 96, the 48. Wow. All of that starting with those troubles for the 03.
That was just a big one there, and we're going to have around 5 laps to go to restart, and the leader has lost all his help, folks.
The 03 went high, and they were about 3-4 wide trying to get around him. The 92 just ran out of space.
What happened to Ramsdale?
Get through. 92 tried to shoot the gap, was bouncing off a couple of people, and then Jeff Ramsdale in the 1 car. Nothing happened to the 1 car, Petey.
Yeah, but he fell back to 5th. He was in 2nd right before that, and I think him and the 03 might have slowed him down a little bit. But let's take a moment to talk about 2nd and 3rd. William Roberts is having a good run tonight. So is Ron Thompson. Got to talk about Tommy Hall. These 3 guys just having career nights tonight. Great for them. Glad they're up front, man. And same with the leader. The top, I mean, I'm going to keep saying this, but until we get about to 7th, Jared Haggerty, all these guys are having career nights tonight. They're all running up front, racing for a win. And anyone in the top all the way back to 9th, this would be their first win if they won this race. Chaburgo, the first repeat winner in 10th.
And it's something that we talked about, that even if you're not a entire regular here, some of the drivers just making their first starts tonight. Some of the drivers who joined in the more recent weeks through the cross promotion for the Friday night LSRTV Super Speedway doubleheaders with Vid 99 Super Speedway. Not only can you walk away with a pretty sick trophy, but again, you can lock yourself into the championship and have a chance to fight for that before the guys that have been here for the whole season and are veterans of this league get that opportunity to. That's how that chase system works. Win and you're in.
Leach is still saving gas. I have to assume he's pretty close now at this point. But you never be too safe, you know. Just want to get a little extra in there to make sure you make it. Like I said, this race probably going to come down to a 5-lap shootout. Next flag would end the race there. I do believe that's when next flag's going to end the race, whether it's the checkered or a yellow. And the way we've seen things tonight, Evan, I'd say you better get the lead pretty quick.
Well, we got wave rounds going around that time by. I think if we get a green flag coming up here, going to be right under range of about maybe 6 laps to go, which would give us a small window of opportunity for this race to finish under a green flag condition, and the fact that we could get another caution and still have the opportunity for another restart. But it's a, I mean, it'd have to happen in that first 1 or 2 laps coming off of this next restart.
It's going to be close. I think next flag's going to end the race. I'm not sure, though. I mean, if they get 2 to green next time by, they would take the green at 90. 90 would be 5 to go. They get 1 green this time even. I don't know, Evan. I think next flag's going to end the race.
Well, coming down on this 94 laps, it's going to be real close on that cutoff, which, I mean, Elliot Leach is not going to be complaining. Richard Holiday PD all the way back to 9th.
I know he was excited. His debut with this league.
If it's not them, somebody else could have punched their chicken.
Hasn't wrecked once, been up front all night, hasn't had to use a reset. And as we get to watch Evan punch his chicken here, my probably all-time favorite graphic we have. But you know,
if we want to play the chicken game, I can get the PD dancing video. There's 2 can play at this ball game, buddy.
hey, you know what? I was 12, Evan. If you had a girlfriend, you would touch her elbow when you were 12.
What?
We both know how the video goes, Evan.
Oh boy. Oh boy. This is a conversation for another time. This is getting out of hand. But anyways, if you win this race, you can get the opportunity to punch your chicken into the championship. There you go.
Punch your chicken down.
You
All
go.
right, so we're gonna have a 5-lap shootout at minimum. Could be 4, most likely.
The people wanted it. You got to give the people what they want. They want the chicken.
They want the chicken, and I understand that. But this should be interesting coming down to it. I know Evan wants to get over so we can get his Krispy Kreme donuts and.
Yeah,
I'm sure
because again, look, it's still 12-12 here. So if you get a dozen donuts, you can get a dozen free. I mean, that's just smart financial planning.
I didn't know it was a thing. I wish I lived near a Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, they close at 10, and we're going on 9:20. So we're gonna be cutting this one close.
Can't wait till you get there and they're just locking the doors.
We can keep everybody up to date on this as well.
Update the LSR Facebook page.
Hashtag Evan Krispy Kreme run. That's a thing.
Evan, can you take like a video of you crying whenever you get there and they're just locking the doors?
We'll see, because my 4-cylinder car that is my mom's that I drive doesn't really have a lot of get up and go, so it sounds like a vacuum when it accelerates.
Grand Theft Auto your way there.
I think that's frowned upon, but
You live in Vegas, man. It's the city of where things happen.
whoa, to the city of where don't things happen in every city?
I live in a city where we have more cows than people. Not a lot of things happen.
This is true. You also have snow.
Yeah,
I wore short sleeves today.
If I went outside right now, the way I dressed I am, I would be up. Snow would be up to my knee. And that's low on this end. I live near Buffalo, so I'm sure you guys heard about the massive snowstorm we had recently.
I mean, I say that I wore short sleeves today, but when I lived in Toronto about 2 years ago, we still wore short sleeves in January when it was like -40 Celsius. But
I actually wore shorts to school today. I mean, you get used to it after a while.
we know the
being
struggle.
cold.
I got you.
All right, well, 1 to green here. We're gonna have a 5-lap shootout. Next flag ends the race. As you guys get to see the Krispy Kreme coupon come up on the screen, folks. So certainly, while advertising Evan's great donut run, how will it end? You vote with hashtag Evan's Donut Run. But
Yes.
be sure to use that on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and any other social media I don't know about. But right now, Leach is leading Robert second. Both of them looking for the first win this season. Who gets it done? Let's make a late race pick, Evan.
I think I chose the 48 car earlier, and some significant issues have plagued Josh Ball in this race. He still sits 4 laps down. I'm going to go with Ooh, this is a tough pick. It's hard to go against the guy that's going to have the track position. I'm going to go with the 9 of William Roberts.
Well, I'm going to go with the guy that whenever he gets to victory lane, we can just have him sing some 5 seconds of summer. I'm going to go with Elliott Leach.
It's definitely an unbiased pick, correct?
Correct. It's not like I own his team.
100%. Okay.
I mean,
Pete, do you feel like if you pick him as the winner, then he'll like sign an album for you? Since we just discovered that he's like a famous.
I hope he does. All of 124 views on SoundCloud sure want that. All right, we're getting ready to go green here. Pace car going to drop it off here. Final time, we will see a restart. Leach controls the start. What will happen here? Will the outside lane get its historically accurate outside runs, or will Leach be able to hang out on the inside? Green flag in the air. Leach got a great restart, and the inside line actually went this time. And Roberts didn't go much at all here, Evan, but it's going to be tough. Will they hang on? They're already starting to wreck a little bit, but they save it.
Yeah, great restart by everybody, which means we're all on each other's bumper, which can lead to a lot of cars bouncing off each other and a lot of contact. 3 wide, back outside of the top 10. All eyes up on front, though. As if a caution were to fly, this race could end. And there goes the 22 to the high side. Goes Ron Thompson. Has no help quite yet. Needs the 9 to get to his back bumper. That is William Roberts. He's got to push from the 4 car. Now they get up to each other's bumper, and we're all stacking them up here. Right now, rows 1 on the bottom and up high as well. 2 wide, about 7, 8 rows deep, Petey. Advantage to the bottom, though, as the 9 and 22 having trouble getting hooked up.
Yeah, and this will lead the battle for the win right now down to the 2 sort of newbie guys, Jeff Ramsdell and Elliott Leach. Going to battle it out here, but don't count out Ron Thompson on the outside. They need to get going quick because a caution could strike at any moment. And who knows, Leach is playing fuel strategy game. This is all exciting. Oh, contact! The outside line gets split up. The real question is now, what's Ramsdell's going to do here? Is he going to wait for the outside line to get to him? Or is he going to jump to the outside? Leach trying to block him. He tried to juke him out, but didn't work.
Haggerty's the one that slid up. He got into the 22 car of Ron Thompson. Caution flag is out. It's over. Elliott Leach is going to win this race. We're wrecking down the back straightaway. Multiple cars involved in this. The 54 of Dennis Wright. A lot of them in it. The 21 also. Heavy damage on Frank Busilia. Backwards is Richard Holiday.
Tough break. Way after the caution, Brian Underwood didn't check up and turned the 03 of Richard Holiday, who would have finished 4th if it wasn't for that.
He is not happy over the radio, understandably so. Was unable to get back going still, to the point that he's not going to be able to slot back in line. He's got black smoke pouring from the end of that machine. But how about Elliott Leach? Going to take home the hardware tonight.
Elliott Leach, I mean, this is a guy that I talk to on a daily basis in TeamSpeak. Me and him co-own a team together, co-own a league.
They're pen pals.
Elliott Leach is one of my dear friends, and I know how much this means to him. He joined this league looking for some success, and I don't think he ever expected to win a race. And I know how Elliott is, and this probably means a real lot to Elliott. And I'm really happy for Elliott right now. Great guy, couldn't happen to a better guy. I know I mess around with him a lot, but he is one of my better friends. And congratulations to Elliott. I know you guys work hard for this, and big congrats to the 41 camp. You're going to be bringing home the hardware to the Big Block Motorsport Shop with.
So before things get too emotional up here in the broadcast booth, I'm going to relate this to PD is Darrell Waltrip, and Michael Waltrip has just won the race at Talladega. PD's getting all teary-eyed.
I'm not going to lie, there's a little tear in the corner of my eye right now. It's great. This is great feeling, yeah. I wanted this team. I never thought I'd see this day come, but Elliott Leach is going to bring home the hardware, and
come so far.
He came so far, man. He's come. Honestly, I've watched him come from like a 500 iRating guy to this, so congratulations to Elliott.
Well, he's going to be able to get it not quite official yet. Still has 2 laps to go under caution flag conditions. The light's still on top of the pace car, so this race is going to end under caution flag conditions. And after starting back in 24th position, he'll take home the checkered flag tonight. And look at the people, though, inside the top 10, PD. Jeff Ramsdell, 2nd place finish. Started this race 29th. Jared Haggerty, 3rd place finish. Started 26th. Starting 37th was Brian Underwood, getting 4th. Ron Thompson, one of the highest starting position out of the guys in the top 10, started 15th, finished 5th. But like 6th position, William Roberts started 27th. Kent Connolly, dead last, 39th. 7th, starting 25th was Robbie Roy, 8th. A lot of these guys in the front of this field coming from the back.
Yeah, and what a great... The stars fell on Talladega
the Stars following Talladega 250 here. This has just been great. It's funny, you know, Elliott Leach think he'd be celebrating, thanking everyone for congratulating him for the win. Right now, he's actually arguing for his teammate Richard Holiday to get his track position back, so I guess his work isn't done yet.
Well, they're discussing it with race control. But again, the 03 was a top 5 car. And because these guys were a little bit behind PD as well, they need as many points as they can get because they didn't start right off in the season opener. If they're attempting to qualify for the chase and are unable to do so with a win and would have to do so on points.
Yeah, well, a guy like Richard Holiday, I think he has to win a race. I don't think if he would have finished second, it would have meant anything to him. This is his first race, and they're pretty deep in the season, so it's pretty much do or die for him now. Elliott might have made it on points, but come to the white flag, and this is probably by far the biggest win of his iRacing career. I think the only other things he really won is some C-fixed races, so I know it's probably is big to him.
Well, that's something I can't even do. I had one at Charlotte, and I got wrecked going into turn 1 at 3 to go, and there was some colorful language on that one, so I'm impressed I still have my chat.
Yeah, well, we're on topics of biggest wins. This is probably Elliott's. Mine came in the X-Scout Racing League. I won their big event at Sobo. That's probably my biggest win. What was yours, Evan?
Probably my first Class B win, and it was actually my first Class B start at Chicago. I didn't even do any practice, and the first half of the race I was really bad, and then we stayed out, and the final 20 laps just got a great restart and had like 2 seconds to the good at the end, so that was pretty big because I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, and man, he just has to make a half more lap. I think he's good on fuel, and we're going to get to talk to Elliott Leach victory lane, man. That's pretty darn cool. From the owner's perspective, I'm not going to lie, I've never won anything big as an owner. I think the biggest thing we ever won as an owner is them C-fixed races. So being the owner of this operation that's going to finish first and 8th.
So you're our Brad Doherty then.
I'm basically.
And AJ Allmendinger has won.
I think I'm like, I own 3 cars, and I think they do a little bit better than AJ Allmendinger does. But
Ooh.
I'm sorry,
Ooh.
Brad Daugherty.
Shots fired.
You know what, Brad?
Oh my.
Brad, you have a fantastic organization. But no, this is pretty cool. First, 8th, and Holiday had a great run until he got wrecked late and finished 20th. But this is pretty cool. I know how much work they put into this, and as a team, we all put in so much work to this effort, and it's just really, really cool. And I hope Rod forgives me for getting all emotional here with my team and stuff. But just really happy to see my boy Elliott win.
Heck, I'm making overtime. No, just kidding. So the 41's going to cycle out at quarter number 4, and for the final time, about 2 hours and 15 minutes later, 94 laps later, and a handful of bent sheet metal later, it is going to be the driver of the 41, Elliott Leach. He started back in 24th position, and the stars fell on Alabama 250, and a ticket to the championship for Elliott Leach.
Man, the stars fell on Elliott Leach tonight, and we're going to talk to him second and third. He didn't even wait to burn them down. He started burning. He's so excited. He started burning them down right away, and that was actually his first incident of the race. And here's a spotter so I can see that. But we'll talk to him and many more after the race. And they're destroying his car. We'll talk to you in a moment, folks.
That's what they consider celebration nowadays, is just running each other over. So maybe unable to do some burnouts because there's heavy black smoke pouring from the 41, but nonetheless, he got the job done, and he took home the checkered flag, he took home the hardware, and he took home the ticket to the championship as well. Your winner tonight is Elliott Leach. Post-race show coming up from the Talladega Superspeedway. Got to throw at the commercial break. We'll see you in a moment. Back live from the Talladega Super Speedway post-race show on LSRTV for the Stars Fell on Alabama 250. Caught up with our third-place finisher tonight, Jared Haggerty. And Jared, we were kind of talking with you a little bit throughout the race there with our whisper crossovers, but you're going to get a P3 tonight, a podium finish after starting in 26th. How did you survive that and be in a position like you were at the end to get this spot?
It was a really tough night, man. I just had to make the right moves at the right time, being really patient going up to the field. I do have to apologize for one of the wreck side calls to Greg Hooks. I got in a little run-in with him in the middle of the race. But overall, I think the Power Rangers Dino Charge Ford Fusion, we had a really good race, and I was really fortunate to come home with a third place. And PD, I'll tell you what, my butt's numb now.
Going to be a wild night after 94 laps, but you're able to get the job done. You walk away with a solid points night when it's all said and done, Jared. Obviously still trying to get that car in victory lane to lock yourself into the championship.
Yeah, I'm really struggling trying to get myself locked in right now, but a third place I think will be a good start with the second place last week. And hopefully we can try to go for that I-5 bonus again next week. But I'm really looking for a win here. I mean, second and third is nice. Podium positions are nice, but at the end of the day, I really want that trophy sitting on my desk.
That's right. You can walk away with some hardware on it. But again, it's a solid night for you, Jared. Before we let you go, sponsors and shout-outs, as always, everybody who made this kind of a run possible for you and that Ford team.
Again, I got to thank the Power Rangers Dino Charge people for being on my car this year. I got to thank Rod for putting on a great show as always. My teammates, Mark Brown, I know he had a little run-in, but I got to thank him for helping me out, and William Roberts as well. This is his first time over at our team. So congratulations for him to come up with a good victory. And thank you guys for putting on a good broadcast for us.
All right, well, we appreciate the kind words, Jared. Thanks for taking a moment to talk to us, and good luck rolling forward here. That 57 starting to get the solid finishes you deserve.
All right, you two guys. Y'all have a good night.
That is tonight's third-place finisher, Jared Haggerty. Now, Petey, you're down, caught up with our second-place finisher, Jeff Ramsdell.
Yeah, and I've caught up with our second-place finisher tonight, Jeff Ramsdell. And Jeff, in the Verdane race tonight, we saw you get wrecked coming out turn number 4 on the last lap in what seemed to be a top 3 guaranteed run for you, and you redeemed yourself with a second-place finish tonight in the Stars Fell on Alabama 250. How'd you get there, bud?
I just drove my race car through the field a couple times. Pitting with the cautions kind of fell into place with the way I wanted to do it. There were more cautions than what I would have wanted, but the racing was fun whenever we weren't under caution.
Well, Jeff, you seem to not have the what we come to know as Ramsdell luck towards the end of that race. Are you happy to finally bring a car home in one piece?
Oh, as long as I'm not in Verdane, I can finish a super speedway race. But yeah, I'm happy to bring it home at any track I go to not get wrecked in something. I think I've had a clean race throughout that entire race, except for a few scrapes. But the Verdane race earlier really, oh, that was a hit. That was hard.
Well, Jeff, moving forward, you're going to need to win a race, it seems, though. If you want to make the chase of the series, do you think you and the one crew can get it done?
I'm not too good at winning super speed races, but running up front in them is something something I'm pretty good at. But maybe a win will come and fall into place one of these before the chase races here.
All right, Jeff, before I let you go, catch up with your crew. Who do you got to thank? Who makes that happen for you in the number one crew?
I got to thank everyone over at Allen Ode Motorsports, Ella Designs, Checkered Flag Interactive, you guys for putting on the broadcast here, iSuper Speedway, Rod, Flag for having me, Chromonic Media Productions. I almost misdid that, and Rafferty Designs.
All right, well, that was the second place finisher tonight. Jeff Ramsdell. Meanwhile, down in victory lane, Evan Pasoko is caught up with race winner Elliott Leach, where the champagne is flying.
Yeah, we've heard him sing so far tonight, and now he's going to walk away with some hardware. Tonight's winner, driver of the 41, Elliott Leach, takes home the checkered flag at a caution flag conditions. Elliott, you started 24th. You take it all home. What does it mean for you to be able to win this event? Not only getting the hardware as well, but by the way, you're in that championship hunt now.
Yes. Oh my God, I cannot explain this. Oh man, if you told me that this was the race that I was gonna win, a double points endurance race starting from 24th, I would have been like, get out of here, like you're on drugs or something. But God, this feels amazing. I've just had a string of bad luck these past few races where like I was talking to Jared before, where I'll get up to like a good good spot, like a top 5 spot, and then just like the last caution or two will be me just getting taken out like beyond belief. And so I just every single wreck that happened that was where I was further back in the pack, I was thanking my stars that I was able to go through it. I didn't let anything get to my head. I knew it was going to be a long race, and I tried to be aggressive when I needed to be, but be conservative any other time. And saving fuel came into it. I crossed the finish line with 0.1 gallons left. So if that's not cutting it close, then I don't know what is.
Well, you brought it right down to the wire, even though it was under caution flag conditions there at the end. But you get the job done, and now rolling forward, we still got quite a few races before the chase. Now that you're locked in, you can have a little bit more fun with it.
Absolutely. Now it's time to work with teammates Robbie Roy and Richard Holiday, who Holiday unfortunately got starved of a very a good looking finish tonight with that last caution. But now I'm gonna hopefully play more the support man. Try and sit myself up as high in the points table as possible, but helping my buddies out at the same time.
Well, I know, Petey, you were quite happy that he won it. Do you have any words you want to share with him?
Elliot, I think you can relate to this, but back in the summer, I've had this team for a while, and me and Holiday have worked together forever, and we kind of added you, and we've grown so much since June, man. It's been fun to watch. It's been great to work with you, and I can't wait to work with you as a driver moving forward, bud.
I'm happy that you guys took me in as that, setup testing driver, because you're right, we have definitely come a long way, and I'm ecstatic that I was the one who's able to bring you your first ISS win.
All right, bud. Can't wait to move on.
Well, Elliot, before we let you go, and obviously Petey can get the manufacturer trophy, the T-Motor trophy, you guys can get all that sorted out. Sponsors and shout-outs, who made this run possible?
I need to thank the entire team at Big Block Motorsports. Once again, Robbie Roy and Richard Holiday. Love working with those guys. Very may not seem like it, but they're very professional when it comes down to it. So give them a huge shout out. Also, I really need to thank the number one of Jeff Ramsdell for pushing me to that finish. He had a shot there about half a lap before the caution came out, coming out of turn 2, where he looked to the outside, and as soon as that happened, I kind of moved up to in like a half-hearted block attempt, but I thought, this is the end of me. I'm gonna finish third or get wrecked out again. But he ultimately decided against it and decided to push me to that win. So I have to give him a really big thanks to him.
All right, well, thank you for taking a moment to talk to us, and again, huge congratulations to you and the whole team for this run and this win, and now you guys are going to be fighting for that championship. So thanks for taking a moment to talk to us, and once again, congrats.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
That is tonight's winner, driver of the number 42 machine. Petey, before we head off, final thoughts.
Well, we saw a couple cautions tonight. I think overall, though, it was an okay event to watch, and man, it was just a bunch of fun being in the booth, as always, Evan, and can't wait till Sunday.
Well, I got 18 minutes until my Krispy Kreme closes,
Oh,
so I got a
no.
donut calling my name, so the run is on. But that's it from Talladega. We do have one more race coming up next Friday before we go off for the holiday season. No Verdane, but we do have Super Speedway coming up in 1 week's time, and $40 of I-5 cash going to be on the line for that one. So on behalf of everybody at Super Speedway, and everybody at LSRTV, Laura Lawson, PDJ Zeller, myself, Evan Pasoko, your winner tonight is Elliot Leach. We'll see you in 1 week's time coming up for race number 8.